Alright, I think we're ready. Moving over here. Okay. Well, I'm still, hold on. I'm still, hello, by the way. I'm still getting some things set up. I think it's this one. I'll have to look. I'm gonna have to, because I have two different audio outputs. I don't know if I've told you this, but genuinely, my PC is just anomalous when it comes to audio. I don't know why. It counts my headphones as two separate outputs. Everything does, not just OBS. My PC itself considers my headphones two different outputs. And you want to know the crazy thing? Somehow it is. I couldn't begin to explain to you how or why. But weirdly enough, yeah, it's two audio outputs somehow. I think it's supposed to be chat and game, but it's also not that, because some of the games are from the same output as the chat. So I don't know. Not only that, my PC also tries to use, two different audio drivers as an output, and that's not how that works. Well, it tries to use the one it's using now, but I think it also tries to use, an old driver as an output, which is brother, that one's not there anymore. You're trying to use something that doesn't exist. Anyways, let me try to get the game started here, and I say try only because I have to do this, and then I have to come back over here and see which output it feels like using today, so I know which one to actually... Oh, okay, there we go. Unreal Engine. I went for a walk yesterday. It was nice. A walk in the woods. Well, that sounds weird. There's a trail, and me and my friends went and walked on it. It was fun. But that's kind of what I did for my break yesterday. I wanna do that more. I like doing that. Oh, horrible. Okay. I don't think I need to turn the volume up. It's been fine up till now, but I also did have to turn this down a little bit. I wish I could remember what I had. I think I had them both set to exactly the same thing, so this should be fine. Okay, well, there we go. In any case, welcome to me playing more Silent Hill F. We're going to be starting on an ending that I honestly wasn't even sure I wanted to get. Because, I don't know, I just feel bad all the way around going for an ending that I know is just worse. And I will show you the requirements for it. Yeah, don't take the red capsules. That's pretty much a requirement for any ending here on out. Purify the sacred sword. We don't know what that is yet. I know what it is, but I don't. Haha. What do you mean? Or didn't obtain it. You bet your ass we're obtaining it. I'm unfortunately gonna have to purify it, though. Yeah, I would rather not, but... and then I have to obtain the Agura no Hote-sama, which I know what that is, but I also don't, so... And then, after that, we're pretty much gonna be getting these in order, except we're getting this one, right after this one. We're just gonna be moving this one down. But, yeah. New game, which one is this continuing? We're gonna be doing this on the same difficulty, by the way. Guys, I hope it's the right save file. I genuinely hope it's the right save file, because otherwise, we might be in a bit of a bind here. I'll have to look. I can look when I get to the Hokora, or when I pause, maybe. Look, this cutscene's slightly different. We see her walking up to pick the doll. This is also different, what she's saying. Based. If he tells me I have to, then I don't want to. That incredibly based. I also love doing exactly the opposite of what people annoy me about doing. And look, she has the fox brooch. Alright, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for the horrors and the other terrible things. I love this game. I hope the chat is like actually working now. I was having issues with chat last stream, but I think it's working. Hello, who up silencing the hills? The hills are indeed silent. We are on New Game Plus, and as we have seen, there are already several kind of large differences. I think I have some other, like, things, assorted things I need to do today. Later, though. They're not things that are particularly time-sensitive at all. It's just stuff I'd rather get done today. The school! The school. Ow! Oh! You saw that, right? For a frame? I forgot about that! Guys, oh my god. This is different too. Damn. You're damn right, but unfortunately you're not. Like I said, we did decide, or I did decide rather, on, getting the, we are going to be doing, we're going to be doing a full playthrough, meaning I'm gonna play through the game 5 consecutive times, and get a different ending each time. And as much as I would like to not get the bad ending, we will be getting the bad ending. At least this turn, this time, this time around. Oh. Yeah, see, this is a monster now. An intimidating monster that appears in Shidomuku, a traditional white wedding kimono. It uses their grand fox arm to compel others to obey. It looks down on me and denies my existence, but at the same time, it pities me like it thinks it's better than me or something. Don't look down on me, you're no better. Yeah, wait, I think there might have been some other... No, there wasn't. Oh. What was new? Oh, okay, well, I did that. Well, that's not new. Even a bad ending is still an ending. I suppose it is, yeah. But, I will be going out of my way to get that one first, just to get it out of the way. And I see people say, oh, I don't understand why this ending is the bad ending. Yes, you do. You're just being contrarian about it. Stop. I can understand... if you say something like, I don't understand why the alternative second ending you can get is considered the good ending. I understand that. What I don't understand is this one not being considered a bad ending. I won't talk about it too much just because, like, this is, I'm gonna be trying to play through this, kind of like what I did last time, where I'm a bit more, I try to be a bit, what's the word? Immersive with it. But, I'll talk about it a little, especially because I'm gonna be kind of, like, stressed knowing what's coming. I am excited, though, in a way, because I actually have not, I've seen the ending, like, the actual ending, but I haven't seen, like, I haven't actually gone through to get this ending myself, so this actually is gonna be kind of new for me. But, I think next, for the one after this, like I said, I'm gonna get the UFO ending. Then, local doctor's note. A fox's wedding is a common expression used for times when it rains while the sun is still shining. Yeah, I know about that. Kitsune no yomeiri. According to the older folk here in Ebisugaoka, however, they also use this expression for when a young girl was spirited away. That's not good. Folklore pertaining to gods and spirits becoming infatuated with human women is not something unique to Japan and can be found across the world. I mean, does Carmilla count? That kind of counts, right? I mean, it's not a god or a spirit, but I mean, it's adjacent, I think. Ebisugaoka is no exception to this. Even here, there are old tales of young girls being taken away on a fox's wedding and disappearing forever. That's bad. During the Meiji and Taisho periods, the town elders would apparently reassure the families of missing daughters that they had been swept away by a fox lord and are now enjoying a life of luxury without care. That's really not good. That's maybe not a good mindset to have. I just feel like if people go missing, we should do a little bit of due diligence before we just decide, they're probably fine. Spirited away like Gensokyo? Oh, is that what the fog is? You're so right, we are in Gensokyo. It's the barrier. Inari-sama. Let's see. The Inari-sama of Ebisugaoka has been the guardian deity that has protected this town since the old days, but they can be capricious at times. Sometimes they'll turn into a fox and steal chickens and dried persimmons. Other times they'll play tricks on children who don't listen to their parents. I also heard that when they fall in love with a human woman, or with a woman they find desirable at first sight, they spirit her away to be their bride. That's interesting. Inari-sama is referred to as a goddess, but I think I've seen, like, a bunch of different, like, pronouns used for it. I think that's actually how some of the gods in Shintoism are, or not god, yeah, they were gods, I guess, but spirits. Just because it, I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's a god, it could just be whatever the hell it wants, like... But I'm trying to remember, there was a specific, like, actual, like, real-world deity that was kind of like that. I mean, I guess technically Loki. I just think it's interesting because... Okay, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're on the right save file. This is my previous one. I mean, but Loki was only ever, like... Loki's a bit of a weird case, though, I feel like. Day drinking. A woman is only complete when she's loved, featuring the latest fashion for young women so pure they make even flowers blush. That's... I already read that. I'm gonna be reading everything, though, just because, as you can see, there are a few things that are different, and there are a few things that are different. Okay. There are a few things that are different in subtle ways that are just, like, really hard to notice if you're not paying attention. So, you bet your ass I am going to be shoving my clown face into every nook and cranny. Research notes on exotic herbology. Although the most famous translated Western medical book remains the New Text on Anatomy, there was a peculiar work by the name of Exotic Herbology published in the 5th year of the Ane era, 1776 AD. Strange as the text was, it has largely been forgotten by history. A foreign missionary brought this text to Japan along with a curious medicine that would supposedly allow one to speak with divine spirits. This drug came to be known as Kakura Makakura by locals. However, in order to have contact with the gods, one must first liberate one's soul. However, upon doing so, the individual will fall into a temporary state of unconsciousness, potentially leaving them vulnerable to malevolent spirits. Okay. Okay, I get it, laughter, yes. Okay, we need to go over here because the laughter dictates it as so. And who am I to deny the voices of, I think, children, maybe? Disembodied children? Something. There's something. Their voices. Yeah, this is open now. Remember, this was closed before. Nothing. I need a key. Okay, well, we'll find one. Research Journal Photo 1. A journal attached to a research journal. A photo attached to a research journal. It appears to be a clue collected by a researcher investigating the folklore of Ebisugaoka regarding the legend of the sacred sword. However, it is said the sword's animosity continued to grow, even as it remained buried under the earth, so the people erected a sacred barrier around it using Jizo statues as anchors. If one wished to find the sword, they would start by looking for these Jizo statues first. It appears that the barrier works by creating a spiritual harmony that inhibits the sword's animosity. Harmony, yin and yang, the 5 elements of wuxing. During this period, wuxing, rather. No, that would be with the... whatever. During this period, it was thought that everything was composed of 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Hey! Hell's Paradise Mitch! I'm kidding. I know it's the 5 classical elements. Therefore, 5 was a number associated with harmony. In other words, there should be 5 Jizo statues. Are 5 such statues located in this town? I expect tracking them down will prove a tremendous task. But yeah, those are the 5 elements. And again, speaking of which, Hell's Paradise. Season 2 is out now. Go watch it. I love Hell's Paradise. Arare. Sacred Sword. Alright. It is said that Ebisugaoka was a hidden village that once served as refuge for defeated soldiers of the Taira clan. Unfortunately, evidence to support this tale is yet to be found. Still, Ebisugaoka shares many cultural similarities with those of other hidden villages, and it is my belief that this tale is true. Oh, I remember picking this note up. Silent Hillium. Yes. Silent Billium. According to other local legends, the soldiers who fled here vowed to exact revenge upon the Minamoto clan and restore the Taira clan to its former glory. Upon swearing this oath, they buried the sword of their deceased leader at the base of the great tree that serves to protect this land. It'd be a historical breakthrough if we could find that sword. Well, oh, you bet your ass Hinako's gonna find it. Oh, wait, is that... Oh! Wait, hold on. It added the... Yeah. I better go and see whether there's an Ojizo-san in town. Yay, okay. Well, we can... Yes. Unfortunately, I will have to purify it this time. But next time we are going to let the animosity fester. Also, welcome to the stream. I forgot to say it, but welcome to the stream. We are indeed playing... There's a lot about Arare. Arare. Oh. Yeah. Go into the closet and see what's in there. Keep getting, like, stutters. I shouldn't be. It's just sometimes... UE5, please. Alright, we're going up here. Oh, well, there's that. I think, yeah, that's locked or broken or, like, fake or something. I don't know. Something's preventing me from opening it. What's this? A woman's magazine. My father isn't fond of seeing these around. Damn. Isn't that cute? Oh. He always told me play house like a good girl should. But you want it... Balcony key. A key stored on the doll's back. It seems to open the door to the next room from the balcony. Oh, the doll looks like Hinako. A little bit. What? This is from Sakuko, but it's too cute for me. Maybe she just thinks you're cute. I don't know. What's this? A box! An empty box! A secret box! But yeah, I'm gonna be doing these in order. And there's going to be stuff that even I don't know, because, like, I have played this game before. Oh. Packing tips! A book by a well-known expert on how to carry large amounts of supplies. Increases inventory capacity. Oh, that's so good. Everything I've ever wanted. Ooh! A boy's diary. I'm gonna be a treasure hunter. I'll make sure of it. And then I'm gonna become a millionaire by finding treasure all around the world. And not just hunting treasure, a real treasure hunter sometimes takes down big scary beasts and bad guys. And don't forget that they have to learn how to escape dangerous traps, too. I was play fighting with the girl who lives next door when Mom got mad at me. She said, "What if you leave a scar on her face? Then nobody will marry her." What's that all about? I think that girl would be a really good treasure hunter, though. She always finds the hidden treasure when we play treasure hide and seek. I want to become a treasure hunter with her someday. Aw. Small iron key, unclear when it opens, should be related to the treasure hunt mentioned in the little boy's diary. I see. I can give it a try. Yeah, you're the best treasure hunter, Hinako. My girl. I remember where, like, 3 or 4 of them are, like, the little boxes that were like, oh, I need a key. Oh, you're not supposed to be there. What are you doing? Oh, there's this. Treasure hunt game, note. You're real good at this. Not any bozo could find this one. Too bad this isn't the treasure, but points for trying. You were so close. I love video games where the inventory limit is diegetic, and as such, every single capacity upgrade is just something that you could have already had if the character knew a little bit more. It's really funny to imagine Hinako walking around and she keeps picking up these... Oh, there's, like, particles. No, these are already in here. Hinako's just picking up all these extra bags and stuff and just tying them around her waist or on her shoulder, and then she also has, like, a few magazines and stuff sticking out of them that are like, that are just like, how to pack better. And then she's also, of course, carrying, you know, metal pipes and things. Oh! Faded bride doll. An old doll in the shape of a bride made from clay. It seems to have been forgotten for a long time. This is the treasure? It seems treacherous. I do like that, though. I do like that it is diegetic, because it does... Ooh, the 10th calendar. Because it does kind of, like I said, it does conjure this funny image in my head of, like, Hinako running around with, like, multiple bags strapped to her, and then, like, This is a really pretty town. I would love... Oh. It's said that the kanji for Ebisu and Ebisugaoka holds the meaning of a person who has migrated from far away. The most fanciful theory for the origin of this town is that it was once a hidden village for Taira clan soldiers who lost the Genpei War. In the town's old customs, there are a few rules that seem like part of a secret village's code, including things like not owning dogs or washing things in the river. But whether or not it's the truth remains a mystery. Oh, why wouldn't you own dogs? Look, hold on, look at how cute this one is. Look at the Houndo Momori. Look, it's so cute. It's a puppy, and he's playing with a little ball. I love that guy. This isn't a dog, it's a whelp, but it's still kind of a dog, I guess. But yeah, and then she also has, like, all these, like, different, magazines. There's a movement. All these different magazines and other things that are like, how to pack better, how to, like, not run out of inventory space. And then her weapons, obviously. Oh, hey! Yeah, it was here. Offered the faded bride doll. Oh, there's like a sound. Yay. I found a damaged Jizo statue in the mountain. The character for Tsuchi, Earth, can be faintly seen etched into the stone base. I wonder what'll happen if I offer something that relates to that character. While we're on the topic of offerings, I remember that I offered my old doll once. Oh yeah, the bride doll was made out of clay. I know that's not the one she offered, but my ears were met with the soothing chime of bells upon offering the item. This should do. Yams. Jams from Silent Hill 2. You might be haunting the narrative. Speaking of haunting the narrative, every time I see, like, Junko, her sister, I keep thinking of that thing that's, like, when the character who's haunting the narrative suddenly re-enters the narrative. It's like, oh, yeah, that's about right. Yeah, but we're gonna be playing this game, like, basically 5 times in a row. We're gonna probably be getting an ending a week. But I am gonna be splitting them into 3 parts.
運転手さんいませんか?
Not the dead bird. But, I'm thinking about what, would be a good stopping point, because like I said, I've never played this game in in more than 2 sittings. I will usually play this game for, like, 4 hours, and then sit through it for, like, another 8 to finish it. That's how it's always been.
本当に羨ましいわ。まさかあの子がね。それに妬ましいわね。どう してあの子なのよねえ噂をすればなんと
Man, they'll be gossiping. But no, it was like that the first time I ever played this. Like, mind you, I got this like early, because I bought the version of it that lets you play it 3 days early, like before it fully released. So I did, and I finished it. I played it the first day for 4 hours. I got to like I think either just after or just before the scarecrow puzzle, and then I played the rest of the game the next day. Like, I literally just sat through beasted through the entire rest of the game. And then it's been like that ever since. That's how I did it my other 2 playthroughs. And obviously that's how I did it last time.
Sakuko. どこ行くの?
Sakuko!
通るの珍しいね。車が道を塞いでてさ。千鶴や？今は誰かと喋りたくて。私も後から行くね。
I love her.
じゃあね。
That was different. That was different. That was different. I don't know. I didn't catch this until kind of recently, like very recently. But the way she says, you traitor right there, it's a little different. The first time around, it just sounds like she says it again. And, just normally. But this time, and I think on all subsequent playthroughs, if you listen to the way she says it, there's like a filter over it. It almost sounds like... It sounds more like the monster version of Sakuko saying it. This game is... This game is fucking nuts, and I love it. It's like... It's such a mind fuck. I can't even begin to describe how, like, insane I felt the first time I started replaying the game, and it was like, okay, all this subtle stuff is changing, and then it didn't help that I never went, like, my first playthrough, I went to Rinko's house first, or I at least got halfway there, and then I was like, wait, I want to go see what's up here, and went back to Sakuko's shrine, because I originally didn't go that way, because I was like, okay, well, what if that's, like, just the way there? And then, so I didn't get the cutscene where Shu meets you and then disappears. So I got that during my second playthrough because I knew to go to Sakuko's shrine first, and I was like, does this happen, like, every time? Or is this, like, just something, like, that happens on subsequent playthroughs? What's happening? Like, I never at any point felt like I knew what was going on, even though I'd already played the game. Name, Suzutani Mayumi. Okay, it's, Mayumi again. Last seen wearing, yep, the beige neckerchief with black polka dots. Details of disappearance, rest was torn off. But I do love, like, little mountain towns like this. I don't, like, I think I was talking about this during the game franchise ranking video. But I used to go to, I used to travel to a place in Colorado with, Colorado, USA, with, Papa Kazuo, and, it was Colorado Springs, I think, and it was, like, a little town on Pikes Peak, or at the foot of Pikes Peak. It was nice. Pikes Peak is the mountain that's there, the big one. Hi, Shu.
Yo. Aibo.
Shu.
Sa.
なんか言ってよ。
お前こそなんか言うことはないのかよ。
相棒にないんだったら私にだってない。
お前らしいや。 け身な生き方なんてお前らしくないぜ。お前が自分で選んだ道なら
Did
俺はいつまでも応援するからな。
the controller vibrate the first time around for that? I don't think it did.
シュウ君、お待たせ。
Rinko!
ひなこもいたんだ。リンコ、何の話をしてたの？いや、大した話。
Like, literally nothing.
誰かとおしゃべりしたい気持ちだったんだって。気が紛れたよ。それはよかった。お役に立てて光栄の極み。
Just let them be happy.
会えると分かってたら借りてた雑誌持ってくればよかった。ああ、貸したままでいいよ。リンコに貸した時点で戻ってくると思ってないし。んだとこんちくしょう。笑いすぎだよ。サクコだってひなこから何か借りてるんじゃないの？私なんかあったかな。
I love them. My favorite doomed friend group.
じゃあ私が借りてる500円も返さなくていいよね。サクコ利子つけて返すとか言ってなかった？言ってないよ。しょうもないから出してみろ。いいこと聞いた。これからはサクコに貸すとき消しゴムであっても証文書かせるから。
They're so silly. Don't be such a meanie. My favorite silly doomed friend group who are all weird, almost obsessively dependent on Hinako.
ごめん、何？裏切りも。
Oh, Sakugo. Oh yeah, I guess I could have said like cryptophobia warning, cryptophobia. I'm gonna be real, I just like zoned completely out. I love Sakugo. What? We're running because we're good at running, and we're running because we don't need to. Okay. No, 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 why is it so close now? Run! Okay, and we're still going, we're still going. We're going this way, and we're going this way, and we're going this way, and then we're going this way, and then we're vaulting. And we're going this way, 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 and then this way, and then this way. I'm such a good navigator. No! Oh, 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 oh! This way, this way, this way. This way, this way. Don't touch the red thingies. The red things are bad! Go this way. Okay, and then Junko help! Junko help! Junko help! Junko help! There's the bell, Junko. Junko! Thank you, Junko! Yes. Okay, so first thing that's different. I don't think there's anything over here. Paint. Yep, it's just these again. It's just this note again. No. Okay, so there's nothing there. Huh, weird. Well, so first thing that's different is we cannot use those at all. I remember thinking, I will, I'm sorry. There's a bandage over here. I was just hoping there would be something down there too. Just don't worry. We got it. We got it. There it is. I see it. Okay. Got it. Alright. I think it's like down, and then yeah, it's the down, and then you can do... Oh, wait, I had the arare. I could have used those. Okay, so first thing that's different. I thought this was genius, my first playthrough, but like, you cannot use the pills at all. And what I normally do is the second my inventory, like, fills up and I have to replace items, I just immediately... In fact, we don't need these. Red capsules, yeah, we don't... This is the weapon of the enemy. We do not need it. We will not use it. We don't need those. Oh yeah, and you get the pipe right off the bat this time, so you're already, like, you don't have to go through this whole section just running around. I know you love Sakugo. She knows that too, she's just hurting. Red pills are too convenient and easy. Never trust a healing item that stacks more than 10 times past the cap of any other item. Yeah, like I said, the first time I played through this, I had that thought at the beginning. I was like, okay, so this is like a really convenient healing item, but like it's pills. Am I gonna be fine if I keep taking them? And then I didn't really think about it too much for the rest of the first playthrough. All the way up until the very end, where it was like showing you the stuff, and she was like taking the pills, obviously. But it's not until you get the first ending that you start to notice just how much they show up in places that don't really make sense too. Like, why are they here? Why are they on the propane and propane accessories? Like, they don't... Why would they be there realistically? But yeah, it's something you might not think, you probably won't think about, and if you do, most people are probably just gonna do what I did and think about it and then be like, whatever. They wouldn't give this to me and then tell me to use it and then, not bring any attention to it if it wasn't supposed to be just used normally. But yeah. Don't worry, we're armed. Propane and propane accessories make fire red, pill red, therefore it's normal for them to be on there. Yep, You're so right! I never thought about it like that. God, the sound design is... Feel the chill and dread creeping into my bones.
Shu? Rinko?
But yeah, it's usually easy to do what I did and just discard them. But the thing is, I don't know if y'all noticed this last time. We're not avoiding anything. Alright. Yeah. How the tables have turned. You should be running from me. Genuinely, like I said, if I were trapped in a horror situation with, like, any protagonist, I would feel the safest with Hinako. Honestly, for me, it'd less be how convenient they are and more how plentiful they are. They're everywhere, which is pretty dang suspicious for a survival horror game of almost any series, TBH. Which is really good, and if you saw me, like, pointing it out last time, they always show up, right after a chase scene with the Shiromuku. Like, if you go back, like, if you escape a chase with the Shiromuku and you go to where, like, it stopped chasing you, there is always a red pill there. Like, how how you have to kind of think about that. But they're convenient and they are plentiful. Like, so the thing about, like, not using them on subsequent playthroughs is, if you notice, like, they stack a lot. You can get, like, a bunch of them, like in the 10s, while any other item only stacks usually about 3 times. So, healing items and sanity restoring items become a lot more, like, they become a lot more of a challenge to keep a hold of, because you're gonna be using them more, and, yeah. But, I hear the radio. That's why, during my last playthrough, I ended the playthrough with so many items, because, like, I was never short on items. One, because I was using the pills, even though I was kind of hesitant to, and then, like, afterwards, I stopped using them after a certain point. It's because I'm used to rationing my items a bit more, because this game really makes you, like, this is where the real difficulty comes in. 孫川鉄橋は国籍不明円盤の攻撃により崩落しています。恵比寿ヶ丘地区から東へは脱出できません。繰り返します。Okay. But yeah, any other item has, like, literally no repercussions when using it. You can use any other item and be fine. The red pills will lock you into an ending, even if you take a single one. And that's another thing, it kind of pushes you to do that, because after you take damage from the chase scene, Hinako is, like, already hurt, and then you have it just gives you the painkillers and says, oh, these ought to help, and then it's like, okay, here, use your healing item, and, like, that's just how most games are, so, like, you wouldn't think anything of it, just because it just feels like a normal tutorial for, like, okay, and here's how you use the healing, and here's how it works. I adore this game. Like, I know a lot of people, like, I can understand if it's, oh, okay, well, I can understand if people don't particularly like it, especially because it does, you are limited to, you are limited to one ending for your first playthrough. Like, it is literally, to my knowledge, impossible to get any different ending for your first playthrough. Just because, like, you don't, like... for example, the Jizo statues. And, like, the Sacred Sword is is kind of a requirement for multiple endings. Like, there's... several conditions are tied to whether you have it or not, or whether you purify it or not. So, it's, that's a good example. Like, you wouldn't be able to get that on your first playthrough, so... And there's something later, with, another item that's tied to, some of the endings that you also, like, we'll see it when we get there, but it hasn't come up yet. But that one's also... Ow! I fell for the oldest trick in the book. That's how you know I'm rusty. Woo! Yeah, okay, so it's already starting to feel a little, Okay, so the sanity should be fine. Let's just eat some Yokon. But see, that's another thing. The pills are convenient because they restore both HP and sanity. It's a small amount, but it's still restoring both resources, so... no other item really does that except the, Inari Sushi, which just restores everything, but it's better used as an offering.
どなたか
At least, it's better used as an offering if you're, like, on one of the harder difficulties, or if you're, like, you haven't fully upgraded everything on the easier difficulties. Like me, I haven't gotten all the upgrades quite yet. Oh, why? Ooh, what's this? Household tips for the good wife and wise mother. A collection of loving ways for mothers to create the perfect home. But, it's also, impossible, I think, to, like, whether or not it's impossible to, because it absolutely is possible, obviously, to, go through and get, beat the game without using the pills. It's not possible to do any of the other things required for any other ending. So I can understand people being maybe, like, a little, pretty. I can understand people maybe not being crazy about that. But it's also, like, I don't know, I just personally feel like, the New Game Plus cycles are part of the game. Like, I really do like the subtle differences that, like, if you pay attention and if you're diligent, it's very rewarding to see how things are different and to see, like, to get more and more pieces of the story as everything slowly starts to come together. A key with unknown bloodstains. Not sure what it unlocks. Hey! I have a surprise for... Is it not in here? I hear it. Oh, it's upstairs. Oh, it's hiding now. Oh, you bastard. Yeah, when I was unarmed, it was like, oh, I'm gonna surprise you, but when... Yeah, I see it. Yep. Haha. I'm just too good. But now that I have a weapon, oh, now you don't want to come out. Aww. I should probably be, like, maybe not fighting all of this. Ooh, backdoor key. A sturdy-looking barrel key. Judging from its size and blades, it should be used to open the back door. Well, we will do that. We will be doing that. But, I probably shouldn't be just fighting all of these. I might try to run past some of them just because the pipe durability is getting a little, it's a little flimsy, admittedly. Okay. What a pretty area. Omamori whale! When using a restorative item, you will not be interrupted by normal attacks. That's pretty good. I wish I could equip more Omamori, but I think the max is 3. And I kind of like the loadout I have right now. What do I have? Let me look. Greatly decreases focus charging time. That's good, because I like to spam focus attacks. Deals additional damage when using weapons with high durability. Effective only for weapons with durability. That also really works for me because I love the high durability weapons and the heavy weapons. So, Omamori Hound slightly restores current max sanity after defeating enemies, and that also helps because, like I said, I love spamming focus attacks, so... Let me see what else I have, though. We have the Get Out of Death free card. We have, okay, increase max health. I want to collect all of these. So I'm probably going to start spending faith on getting some of the other Omamori from the gacha. Speaking of gacha, and also speaking of whales, that is going to be this week. I accidentally scheduled Genshin pulling for Columbina on the same day I normally do tier lists, and by the time I realized I already posted the schedule, and I was like, we could probably take a break, it's fine. Last week we finished the big project, which was ranking every franchise, so, or every game franchise, so we could take a break maybe. Like, I just have to remember it next time. But I will be doing that. I will be wailing for Columbina. Like I said, when the day comes, I will put in the title and on Twitter, I guess, exactly how much I end up spending, because I'm going to be doing all the spending beforehand, just because my bank gets a little bit squirmy when I spend too much at once, so I can't, like, just sit there and then spend a bunch on Genesis crystals, because otherwise, yeah, that doesn't work. Gacha pulls are just a tier list of 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, if you think about it. You're so right. Crow slightly restores health. I don't know, I'll rank the characters that I pull. Let's see. Current max sanity. Focus charging time. That's the one I have. That's the one I have, yeah. Clam, that one is really nice for just, like, if you're trying to avoid fights. Also, if you're just trying to fight one thing at a time, because it can be annoying when a bunch of other, like, things show up when you're trying to, like, pick something else off. Suzudan. Perfect dodges become easier to perform. I don't need that. Greatly decreases the damage taken while dodging. Deals additional damage. Yeah, I have that one. Omamori Spider. When performing light attacks, I don't perform that many light attacks. I usually, like I said, I spam focus attacks and heavy attacks. Because I like killing things as fast as I can. Was this, like, nonsense on the wall before, or am I just noticing that? Okay, I hope I put that there right, or it's gonna fall, and I'm gonna have a mess. Fall. Oh, I have some stuff planned. I will not elaborate. I just have some stuff planned. You will see soon enough. Let's shimmy on down the ladder. Shizuya General Store while avoiding the monsters. We will not be doing any avoiding. Oh yeah, what am I doing? Hold on, I have to take this off for... Ah! There, now there's not gonna be any tapping noise. But, I might try to avoid some of them just because the durability on my pipe is gonna get, like, mashed. And I would like to keep this... I would like to keep this pipe. At least for a bit. We don't need that. This is the weapon of the enemy. We do not need it. We will not use it. Oh! Oh! Ow! Ow! Beam struggle. Okay. Yeah, the pipe is a little piped. It's not dented yet, but, like, one more hit, like, light or heavy, doesn't matter, will put it into the almost destroyed. It will put it into the red. Okay, we can go that way, and perhaps we shall, but I want to be thorough, because being thorough is good. I do think that going over here causes one to jump down, but we'll see. Bandage! That's good. not. Maybe I'm good. Oh, antique comb. Now we can offer. I'm probably gonna save most of the faith I have for when I get an Ama, because I think... Let me look. Yeah, I need another health upgrade, and then I think maybe there's like one more of each after that, and then it's maxed out, but I'd like to save the faith for then. Okay. Oh, also, I'm finally doing what I said I would do. I'm gonna be starting Path of Exile, the first one. I do like, I do like the vibes it has. It was something I meant to get into, like, years ago, and then I never did. Oh yeah, we can open these now! Goated. Diary of Revenge. According to the Nihon Shoki, one of Japan's most ancient history books, Yamato no Orochi, a colossal 8-headed dragon, demanded the sacrifice of beautiful young girls for it to devour. I remember that guy. I kicked his ass in Okami. Upon hearing this, the wild deity Susanoo no Mikoto brought 8 barrels of sake to the dragon and lured it into drinking them. Once Yamato no Orochi had become intoxicated, he slew the dragon by chopping off all 8 heads. And according to Ebisugaoka's oldest historical records, after being decapitated, one of Yamato no Orochi's heads flew far west and fell between the mountains of Higanokuni. The head eventually came back to life as a poisonous water dragon that plagued the land for many years to come. Higanokuni is now known as Ebisugaoka. There are records of toxic gas leaks from the underground water streams in the past. It is highly possible that this is where the legend of a poisonous water dragon stemmed from. However, while the local records state that Yamato no Orochi's head flew here, there is no mention of this in the Nihon Shoki. It's not hard to surmise that some shameless individuals put a religious spin on the noxious leaks to turn a profit and falsified connections using famous literature to solidify their claim. That kind of makes sense, I guess. It is kind of hard to tell what's real and what's not. Speaking of Ama, thank you, my friend. Whoever put that in the box and whoever put the Diary of Revenge in there. Like, I very much appreciate that. I have more health. Now we need... I'm always going to be getting sanity first because, oh my goodness, I use so much sanity. Biblically accurate archer using all of my sanity. Whatever's left of it. Kitchen knife! Okay. Oh, Silent Hill F, you're far too good to me. We will be fighting back. Take back the night! That was not one of the songs.
Rinko.
She loves her friends. Bandage. Okay, well... You know what? Oh, this is one of the ones that has the flowers on it. We'll be using the knife for a bit. I don't think there's another pipe around here. Yes. Woo, okay. I was gonna say, isn't there usually one right here? I was wrong. Yeah, we are going to be using the knife for the time being. I think I should be getting another pipe soon. And toolkit, my goat! I don't want to use that yet, though, because, like, those are, like, as y'all can see, they're pretty valuable. Oh. Oh, I see you. You thought. Oh my god. I forgot the knife one-shots things. Hinako, you are... Man, I'll be the housewife, Hinako. Marry me. Damn. Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning. I do cook. I do like to cook. Let me do the cook. Huh?
シュウどこにいる
Yokan. Oh. Oh my god, the knife. The knife is really nice. I know I sleep on the lighter weapons, but, because I really do just like the more sturdy ones for a bunch of different reasons, but, like, oh my goodness. I like the knife. I don't know, I hear clown cooking tends to taste a little funny. Yeah, it does. Oh, there we go. Well, you know, I do try. That just reminded me of, like, a joke I made, like, while I was at a friend's house. It was, like, me and three other people, and one of them, like, picked up, like, a vacuum, like, one of the, like, those little hand vacuum thingies. And then the friend whose house we were at was like, hey, be careful, that vacuum kind of sucks. And then I was like, yeah, they tend to do that. and then they were like, this is a real warning. And they told me a second later, they were like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I felt nothing but pure rage towards you in that moment. I'm just too good. I'm too good, man. Alright. I love that kind of humor where it's just, like, needlessly pedantic. Coach Dad, Golden Retriever, and now we can add Road Work Ahead energy to the list of Kazuo vibes. Man! I mean, that's not bad, I guess, but... Man! No, Sakuko! No, she loves her friends. She loves Sakuko. She does Sakuko. No, Sakuko. So we're learning that maybe I'm the kind of person who would walk out, like... I don't want to disrupt this scene with my insipid, like, blathering. Okay. Am I like a villain? Why do I talk like that sometimes? Insipid blathering? Who says that? I just like being needlessly verbose because I like writing.
菓子が食べられるよ。
Aw.
おやすみ、咲子。
She loves her friends so, so much. She's so cool. I love her so much. The store's closed for the day.
私やっぱり咲子との約束守りたいよ。
Oh. Oh yeah, we're gonna she's going to keep her promise to you, bro. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, we now know that I'm the type of person who walks out in, like, cargo shorts and sandals and, like, a Hawaiian shirt and, like, yeah, are you winning, son? You doing good? Yeah, kill him! Kill it, Hinako! Every now and again, just, it flashes in my mind Vincent's words from Silent Hill 3, where he, you know what, I'll talk about this in a second, but oh, the bell! Wait, am I crazy? No, I am crazy. Sorry. And this is slightly different. We get to see Shu find her. Hinako, I think that's not going to do good on the pipe durability. Man, the pipe durability can... I think I'm willing to ignore it this time. She deserves to... No! And your clan can go fuck itself! I'm not offering anything. How about you offer me something? Now there's a thought. I'm willing to overlook the pipe durability because I think Hinako deserves to destroy some things in a fit of rage. Speaking of destroying things in a fit of rage, this thing's not gonna last too much longer. Thy restless heart betrays thee as unfit for this auspicious day. Thou must first pay respect to the gods and the spirits of thine ancestors. A restless heart leads to a corrupt soul. Only through sufficient offerings laid upon many stands may thy soul be cleansed. Man. Okay, and then these are just this again. No! Wait, hold on. Whoa! Okay, yeah, that goes there. And then this goes, yeah. Here. And then this goes, this is leaves, so that goes there. And then, I love the bird and the little kimono. Like, I know it's a dead bird, but it's kind of cute. He's wearing a little kimono. He, she, I don't know, it's a bird. There's flowers. Look, he's such a dapper young, he looks so polite. Put it right here. And then this goes here. But every now and again, the words of Vincent from Silent Hill 3 flash in my mind whenever I'm fighting monsters, in Silent Hill, because he did have that one line where, like, Heather was like, you mean the monsters? And then he says, monsters? they looked like monsters to you? And then he does say he was joking, but here's the thing. We don't fucking know if he's joking or not. So every now and again, I kind of think about that. I think it might be different for each Silent Hill game, but there's at least, oh, no, 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 no! You will not stop me! 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 Open the door! Open the door! No! Open the door! Open the door! Goddamn! Oh yeah, I love you showing up at the, like, last minute, as per usual. Man, I don't even have the energy to put up with your bullshit. Whoa.
どうした？こっちだ。
I still want the cool blue fire lantern. Why do you get it? But, like, there's at least a precedent that's kind of been set that the monsters might actually be something else. At least in Silent Hill 3, and because my belief in Silent Hill 2 is that there's literally nothing there. But I think there's a good chance that maybe, like in some Silent Hill games, there's something else going on. Oh wait, I shouldn't be going through the center of these. That's not proper. The aim. What if the last minute for us is the first minute for him? Perception in the hill is weird. You know what? You're right. Hold up, man. I gotta grab... Yeah, I gotta grab this. Perception in the hill is a little different. The hills have eyes, but not a mouth. Yep, beautiful dagger, and then it's been blunted. I think if I remember correctly, we can probably... So, there's something about New Game Plus that's really, really nice. And... Oh. The dog has a ball in its mouth. The other one does anyways. He was playing with ball. I do think foxes are funny. They like to laugh. Again, that might be where the that might be the like kitsune thing, right? Because they're known to love playing tricks. And foxes do love to steal things and get into mischief and laugh. bit noisier than you would think, if I remember correctly. Yokon. Record. Yes. You know what upsets me? Like, I know we're not really, this is just out of nowhere, but, we don't need that. Here's what I was talking about. This is, you don't have to find the things, the missing dial. And, since I remembered that, I remembered the combination, I didn't have to go through the whole thing looking for the Emma again. So that's what I'm talking about. A nice thing about New Game Plus is that there's several ways and oh, the shadows. There's several ways and places for you to actually kind of cut down some of the segments. Yes.
受け取ってもらえて嬉しい。淡雪の紅玉より削り出して作った君のための鍵だ。
私のために。
I mean, that's nice, but
その鍵を稲荷像に。
Man, why do you keep leaving? Hi, doll. Don't trust the fox mask. I don't trust him, and I don't trust you either. I am way ahead of you. And despite what you told me last time, I do trust Rinko. I trust Rinko and Shu, I guess. I mean, he did give me a bunch of weird drugs, but, I kind of trust him, sort of. I trust him more than the fox mask and you, at least, which isn't saying much. And I trust Sakuko. No. Run! Run! Stop! Go to hell! Go to hell! She's out of energy! No! Alright, run! Run, 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 run! No, 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 no! Leave me alone! This is so stressful! Okay. Whoo! Ha, ha, whoo, ha. Alright. The time dilation.
先ほどの扉は客人を招くためのものだ。だが、こちらの扉は聖域へ入ることを許された者にしか開かれない。
私は入っていいの？
I enter and am immediately vaporized.
君を招くための今日がある。まだ少し歩かねばならないが、しばし休もうか。
大丈夫です。
疲れたらすぐに言いなさい。では、行こうか。
Oh, and this is different too. You can see the doll behind the door, the other door. See, I don't trust you either. How about that? I don't trust anybody who's doing weird shit.
Hinako. しっかりしろ。返事をしろ。よかった。
Yo, shoot.
お前は簡単に死ぬようなやつじゃないよな。
Obviously.
まだ生きてる。
サクコは無事だよな。
Oh, Sakuko. Doomed friend group, my beloved.
一体どうなってんだ。街から誰もいなくなってる。これは悪い夢なのか。
どこに行っても化け物しかいない。悪夢以外の何者でもないな。
だとしても幸運だったよ。この世界に残ったのが2人だとして、そのもう1人がお前で嬉しいよ、相棒。
リンコは
Man, Shu.
俺はあいつに話があるって言われただけで別にその。
リンコは無事なのか一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか。
悪い。俺も混乱してたみたいだ。あの時はみんなバラバラに逃げた。俺もリンコの姿は見てない。
こんな状況でリンコはどこへ。
They're so silly. I love all of
自
them.
分の家。
I say silly, but like, man, they all have a lot of shit going on.
行ってみようぜ、相棒。どうした？早く来ないと置いてくぜ。
Yeah. I'll keep up. And I got the
し
knife.
っかりしないと。とにかくリンコを見つけなきゃ。
Is there anything else around here I can use? I think that's where I came from. That's the way back home. Yeah. But,
サクコ、ごめん。もう行かなきゃ。
okay, bye Sakuko. But, the thing I was saying earlier before I unlocked the door was, something that upsets me greatly, as a zoology fact, is that tigers apparently don't purr. That's just so upsetting to me on so many levels. Like, other big cats purr. What do you mean tigers don't? I've chosen to ignore that. I think they should get to... I mean, to be fair, tigers are a bit different than a lot of other big cats. Like, for one, a lot of big cats can, like, climb and don't really particularly like water that much. But tigers can't really climb all that well, but they really love water. They love swimming. Okay. Let me see. The blade just chipped in places and it's starting to come loose from the handle. I guess this is what happens when you use a kitchen knife for unintended purposes. Okay, well, I might have to use a toolkit on one of these, but we'll see. We'll see if I can stumble into another weapon between now and then. I feel like...
化け物、もういないよね。
Well, now that I think about it, maybe I guess it kind of makes sense, because unlike other big cats, tigers are mostly solitary. But I feel like there's other solitary big cats that also purr. Like, what? Like, I think mountain lions, panthers, cheetah. They're all relatively solitary. At the very least, they don't live in prides like lions, but they all still purr. Tigers just don't get to because, I don't know, John Biology just decided it was time to spite me specifically.
でも、お供え物だったよね。
Oh, Wait, no, that's red. We do not need the red pills. I forget what the thing is. What was it exactly? Taxonomically, either humans should be counted as fish or fish don't exist at all. Something like that. Both of those things would be news to me. I genuinely have never heard that. I've heard, like, other things, weird facts about humans. Like, humans share, like, a lot of DNA with bananas. And I've also heard that, human meat tastes like pork. If there was a way to... No, I'm not gonna say that. There's some things I shouldn't say on stream. Okay, we're getting a little into dangerous territory there, but, that's weird though, isn't it? Like, humans should technically classify as fish, or fish don't exist at all, but, like, humans also share their DNA with bananas and taste like pigs. Like, huh. We really just couldn't pick a struggle when it came to humans. What am I doing? Dried carcass. Record. Isn't nature amazing? Yeah, it's also really, really weird and... Stop with the red capsules, bro. That reminds me, I really, like, some of my favorite Vinny streams are when he does things like Thalassophobic Curiosities and just talks about fish, because you end up learning all sorts of incredible and horrifying things about nature. What a creepy scarecrow. Like, ooh, first aid kit. Like, male anglerfish are actually way smaller than female anglerfish, and the big scary anglerfish you always see are always the female ones. So that's the thing with fish, it's like the opposite of birds, right? You know how birds are, like, usually the male ones are really pretty and, like, weird looking? Like, the peacock, like, the male peacock is the colorful one with the crazy tail. And then the female peacock is just kind of brown. But, oh! What are you doing? But with fish, it's the opposite. The male fish are usually tiny and, not really all that remarkable, but, like, the female fish are the ones that are just, like, absolutely insane. Like, again, with the anglerfish, the female ones are the big scary ones you always see. But the male anglerfish, like, have a fate worse than death, because what happens is they like, attach themselves to the body of, like, their mate, and then they become, I think in the words of whoever, like, sent this to Vinny, and I actually looked into it myself, like, on Wikipedia, and it is true, apparently. They basically become, like, a living nutsack, and then they die. Like, what did you just become like, what do you mean? This poster is one of the requirements for the UFO ending, so I'm not gonna interact with it. Like, I can interact with it, and I can do some of the other stuff. It's just, I need to be careful not to do all of it, or I will lock myself into the UFO ending. But, like, real men drink Otori beer. But, like, there's, like, so much stuff like that when it comes to marine biology. There's, like, weird, just nonsense that happens that's just completely illogical, at least to me. If I remember correctly, that's why it took so long for people to find out that males of that species existed. Yeah, because that happens. Where are you going? What an odd and kind of horrible life. But I think there's also things like, I don't remember. It's usually like, I know sharks aren't necessarily fish, but, it's like that with sharks. Like, what about the, like, I think it's the female bull shark has the highest testosterone of literally anything on planet Earth. Which is insane. Oh yeah, the move set changes with the bat when it gets low on durability. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I would have liked to have held on to that for a little longer, but it's okay. But just fish in general are absolutely insane. Like, especially when you start getting into the deep ocean stuff. Like I was talking about the anglerfish, obviously that's wild, but you also have things like, I love that Hinako has, like, hyper armor while she's charging up, like, while she's in the animation for, heavy attack or a focus attack, because she took, like, no damage from that hit. Like, it was a direct hit, and she just thugged that shit out. She was like, yeah, nope, that's a paper cut from a whole cleaver. But yeah, there's, like, also what is it? It's the mantis shrimp, or what was it? It's that one crustacean, it's like, maybe it was killer shrimp? Whatever, it's, like, really pretty and green, but it has, like, it sees in, like, a billion colors, which is honestly kind of scary to think about. Like, how does that many exist? I mean, obviously we can't fathom it because we don't have that many cones in our eyes. I think it's cones, right? Ooh. Research journal photo 2. Okay, so I know where that's at. That's where that's near that construction thing, by where Sakuko's shrine is. Regarding the legend of the sacred sword. In the Muromachi period, the Great Famine of Oe had young individuals desperate for quick money, and so they searched for the legendary sword. One story even claims that the sword was discovered. However, the youth who found it became consumed by the Taira clan's resentment and massacred the others one after another. After that, the sword became known as the Sacred Sword and is thought to contain the lingering animosity of the defeated Taira soldiers. Was the sword hidden after that? There's not enough information. I must search for the Jizo statues myself. I was able to get in contact with a resident who knows the location of an old Jizo statue. This may be my first clue that will lead me to the sword. Oh, Jizo-san. Yes. But, no, it's also that one shrimp. It's the same shrimp, like, we don't have that many cones yet. True, we could probably develop more. Like, I don't know, if we start evolving to have more cones, that could be kind of crazy. But it's also that, it's the same shrimp that punches so hard that it's comparable to, like, a bullet. And it's also, like, nobody knows, I mean when I say nobody knows why, but whenever it punches, it generates a spark of light. Literally, nobody has been able to figure out why that is. It just punches so hard that it's basically firing a bullet. Some people do keep them as pets, and there have been, like, reports of them breaking their, like, enclosures. Like, I mean, whatever does it for you, man. I guess you can keep anything as a pet. I wonder how they taste. Like, I know we kind of do that a lot. Like, we just see a bunch of, like, nonsense that looks completely horrifying and say, I wonder how that tastes. But genuinely, I adore seafood, so I can't help but wonder how something like that would taste, because shellfish and crustacean tend to be particularly delicious. Imagine that. You have, like, basically a gunshot, or at least the punch of a gunshot built into your base kit, and you're still low enough in the food chain that creatures are just casually talking about, like, I wonder how that would taste. Oh.
シュウいるか？
なんだ相棒。
今のこの状況、いつまでも宇宙船総合行していたい。私かお前の夢の中ってことはないよな。
Nostalgia is powerful, huh?
だったら互いの頬をつねり合ってみるか。
いや、自分の方法くらい自分でつねれる。
I love that he actually pinches himself. And she doesn't pinch herself.
残念だが夢じゃないみたい。
I guess sometimes even a nightmare can feel more tolerable than reality depending on what's happening, huh, Hinako? I guess you could say it would have a kick to it. You're so right. You're so right. I do love spicy food. Oh, you were thinking evolution. I was thinking transhumanism. That's ooh, that's fair. Like, I don't know. Like, do you think they could genetically like transplant the mantis shrimp or whatever into into our eyes? Just like, I mean, they've kind of found ways to do stuff like that. I don't think it would be a particularly good idea because I don't know. Or like, I don't know, you could like have your eyes like replaced by like prosthetic eyes, like robot eye that can just detect that many colors. Jumping to the end of the Heian period, the infamous Genpei War wreaked havoc across the country and defeated warriors from the Taira clan. Taira clan fled to all corners of Japan for sanctuary. Ancient folklore claims that Ebisugaoka is one such hidden sanctuary. Few ventured close to this land, for the poisonous gas that rose from the ground was a well-known phenomenon. This made it the perfect hiding place for those shamed warriors. Though this did not come without its own inherent problems, as there are numerous records regarding Ebisugaoka's residents suffering from the water dragon's poison. It's only natural, then, that they would turn to idolization as a device to quell the dragon's anger. However, despite the popularity of the faith at the time, not a hint of its legacy remains today. It just goes to show that even the gods are not exempt from the fickleness of man. That's actually real shit. That is actually genuinely real shit. Not even the gods are exempt from the fickleness of man. Like, what is a man? What is a god to a man, I guess? Emma. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. Okay. Now, thank you for the Emma again. Also, that's an angle, that's a theme that doesn't really start taking shape until, like, a New Game Plus playthrough. Oh, okay. But there's themes of, like, religion versus, like, tradition versus, progression, and then, like, religion versus, skepticism, I guess? Not skepticism. There's, like, I don't know, it's just, this game brings up a lot of really interesting themes. But, yeah, like, I feel like I would rather, like, if I were given the choice to either eat the mantis shrimp, or inherit one of its two abilities, or even both of its abilities, the bullet punch, and the seeing a billion colors, respectively, I would rather eat it, honestly. Like, would it be cool to see, like, billions of colors? Maybe, but I also feel like it would be a little bit, I might not be able to handle that. Like, I just kind of feel like maybe, maybe there's some colors I'd rather not see, but a horse of a different color. A mantis shrimp of a different color. But yeah, as Grace pointed out, yes, the food would have a kick to it, and I do so love spicy seafood. The punch ability would be a bit more useful, but like at the same time I'd be a little scared that I'd accidentally, like, I like to pretend to punch things, like my monitor sometimes, and, I'd just be too scared. I'd be too scared that I'd accidentally, like, just completely erase something from existence. Oh. Something happened!
先生ですか？
Like, what would I do? Because I'd like to pretend to punch my monitor. And if I had the force of a mantis shrimp, even if I didn't, like, hit the monitor directly, I feel like the wind current generated by such a punch would probably damage it at least. And this is obviously assuming that being able to punch that hard wouldn't damage my own body, because I feel like if my arm were to go at that speed, it would probably break every bone inside of it, and then maybe some other stuff. But, you know, you punch too hard on accident once and the entire city block is gone. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd be too scared to ever move my arms again if I were able to punch like the mantis shrimp. So, given the choice between inheriting some of its abilities or eating it, I think I'd rather just eat it, because I'd want to know what it tasted like. I had assumed up until now that being possessed by the fox was a sort of curse. A local doctor's note. However, it turns out that among the followers of the Inari faith in Ebisugaoka, it can be more nuanced than that. I heard one tale of a housewife who was possessed by the fox after sharing some scraps of food with a real starving fox. As a sign of gratitude, the fox showed her the whereabouts of hidden treasure. Another tale claims that a pious shaman was possessed by the fox and given premonitions of a coming famine. They were able to warn the town and stockpile enough food to endure it. There are numerous stories like this suggesting that being possessed by the fox is not necessarily a turn of bad luck. Though with the influence of today's media from outside the town regarding ghost and horror stories, the fox has become seen as a purely negative phenomenon, particularly among the younger generations. Yeah, see, this game just has, like, the themes that it starts going into of, like, religion and, tradition versus, progression. Today's the 10th. Old medical record. Fujitori Kotoyuki, age 9. Oh, Kotoyuki! The kid that, Hinako saved from a fox. The patient had joined a group of children chasing down a fox that had wandered into the village. The fox then attacked the patient, leaving several lacerations on his face. Well, he shouldn't have been fucking chasing it. I don't know what to tell you. My face when I learned basic cause and effect. The wound below his left eye is particularly deep and shows a considerable risk of scarring. During treatment, he suddenly fell unconscious and was measured with a fever of over 40 degrees. Emergency transfer of the patient to the prefectural hospital was requested. Upon arrival, however, the doctors there were unable to detect any abnormalities, even after multiple rounds of testing. After confirming his condition was stable, the patient was cleared to return home the following morning. When questioned during a follow-up examination, the patient responded that he felt completely fine. According to the patient's mother, however, Kotoyuki is like a whole other boy and has been applying himself to his schoolwork harder than ever before. It's locked. But there's also, like, other fish. I remember, like, I'm trying to remember some of them. Besides the mantis shrimp, there's, like, God, I don't know, like, deep sea life is just so fascinating, because, like, what do you mean we share a planet with this stuff? Like, how does that happen? Like, what do you mean? Local doctors note there are numerous tales of those who blaspheme against the Inari faith being possessed by the fox. These tales have no quantitative scientific basis, of course. However, I want to try my best to avoid outright refuting tradition and local beliefs. The effectiveness of any medicine provided to a patient who believes themselves sick due to the fox's possession is drastically low. As a man of science, I surprise even myself here when I say that, for the best results, patients should be told to offer their sincere prayers to Oinari-san prior to seeking medical treatment. By respecting and complying with local traditions, I feel I can build a far stronger rapport with my patients here. See, that's like this is like such an interesting thing. It's like, some of these things are like just kind of walking the line between traditional values and things like faith and all that, and scientific things. Because oh, I forgot about that. Because I think it's in this bottom left one, right? But I'm still gonna search all of them. Small inconspicuous key. Wonder what drawer it belongs to. But that's like, I think another one of the notes, maybe from this same doctor, said something similar, where it was like, I believe that traditional medicine and newer medicine can and should coexist. I think that's actually a really fascinating way of looking at it, and I kind of agree. It's gone. Like, I feel like, ooh, ooh, yay, yummy.
誰かいるの？
What's going on with, radio? What's going on with that radio? a little Silent Hill 1 reference. What the hell? Oh. Alright. There was... Ooh, another one. There was also like what's it called? Oh, there's like syringes on the ground. Hey James, I have some gross, crusty, like disease-filled syringes for you to use. Your favorite. Besides the Yakult, of course. I keep trying to talk about marine life and I get distracted by other things. Oh no, I fucked up. Okay, well. There we go. Destroy it. Never to be seen again. I'm gonna start using the sickle for a bit. There's also, like, the sea angels. I think I was talking about this the other day when I was doing the video game franchises, and I was talking about G. Darius and about how there's, all of the bosses are based off of, actual sea life. And, I was talking about how the sea angel, despite being called an angel, it's actually kind of scary. Like, not to us, because it's microscopic, and in fact, that's a weird, like, kind of running theme, is that a lot of the kind of more horrifying deep sea life tends to be so small that it really isn't, like, a threat to us, which is kind of weird to think about. But, like with the sea angel, I think I might have said this, I might not have, I don't know. It, like, eats tunicates, and it specifically eats I think that it was either the sea dragon or the sea angel that did this, but it eats tunicates, and then it lives and lays eggs in the hollowed out carcass of the tunicate. But there's also things like, oh wait, I'm a fool. If something would have attacked me, I would have deserved it for not being on guard as I normally am. I don't know how this turned into me talking about deep sea life while playing Silent Hill F, but I don't know. It felt right. Bandage. I wonder if Hinako would like deep sea life. Like, if she'd be like, wow, the viperfish sure is cool. There's also, like, what's it called? The sunfish? That's literally just living garbage, basically. That's what it is, right? It's, the sunfish. It's the one that's, like, it can barely move. It has no control over where it goes. It just floats aimlessly. it can't really open or close its mouth, so it just filter feeds on whatever happens to go into its mouth. Well, not filter feeds, but feeds.
先にある昨今とこの神社よく行ったな
But like, sometimes they'll just they'll just end up turning up on their side and they won't be able to right themselves. Like, they'll just wash ashore like that or something. Other animals will come and take bites out of them, but like all of their organs, like their vital organs, are concentrated in one specific part of their body, so they'll just stay alive. And like, animals usually don't like eat them for any reason. Like, they'll just do it for fun because like they apparently taste horrible, so there's like, they have a lot of meat, they get really big, but all of it is just disgusting and not worth eating. Like, what a life. That's antique comb. Ooh! A flask. Rusted flask. An antique portable thermos bottle. The glass container inside is broken, so this is no longer usable. That's not really deep sea life, but it is sea life. Whoa. Let me pick this up. Oh! It's Monster Sakuko! Or it kind of looks like Monster Sakuko. I think it's just her wearing the traditional stuff. Traditional Miko. Oh. And then that happened. Hinako did say she liked to put on all the regalia and perform the rituals. But, I mean, there's also, like, things like sea cucumbers that are just living tubes of flesh that... Oh.
Oi, Aibo. Rinko no ie wa sotchi ja nai ze.
But Sakuko!
ごめんぼんやりしてた
ここサクコの家の神社だよな。
うん
あんまり思い詰めるな。急いでリンコを探そう。
そうだな行こう
Man, all this nonsense happening. But, there's also, like, tubes of, like, they're like, I think it's sea cucumbers. If not, it's related to sea cucumbers. And they're basically living tubes of flesh that just eat waste at the bottom of the ocean, and that's all they do. And I remember because Vinny was talking about it or something, and he was like, if you ever feel like you're not doing much in life, just remember that these things exist, and all they do is eat, like, poop every day, or whatever he said. Which, you know, that's pretty good advice. Just remember that you could, like, no matter how... Ooh! I love the pipe. I probably could have replaced the pipe that's already kind of broken instead of replacing the sickle that I hadn't used at all. But, yeah, I could have been smarter with that, admittedly. Whoops. Oh well. But yeah, just remember that there's always, like, the male anglerfish that literally just lives to become a living nutsack and then die. And then there's also, like, offer the rusted flask. Mizu, water, yes. I think Mizu and Sui are both water, right? How about if I offer something that relates to that character? Is this Sakuko's family shrine? My ears were met with a soothing chime of bells upon offering the item. This should do. But yeah, you could always be a living nutsack and then die. Hello. What a thing to say. What an absolutely wild thing to say in any situation. Goated. Okay. Wow. We're actually kind of... Okay, look. What do I do? I actually don't know what I want to get rid of. Let's get rid of the Higashi. I kind of don't use the Higashi. I probably should. Yeah, no, you know what? Let's get rid of the second Arare. Oh! You don't need that.
Nani?
But yeah, let me try to think of something to talk about that isn't just me talking about, like, deep sea life. I feel like that's been a good chunk of this stream, is just me being like, guys, did you know this fish is, like, terrible? And for some reason I just decided I wanted to talk about animals. Like, what was it? I was talking about how tigers don't purr and that upsets me. Thank you for positioning yourself right in front of me. There are many benefits to being a marine biologist, such as the burden of knowledge. I love being burdened by knowledge. I love knowing things that make life a living hell. I think one of the things I learned about, it's not necessarily marine biology, but apparently it was something like your immune system doesn't know that your eyes exist, and if it did, it would attack them. I don't remember where I read that. I don't know if it's true. Like, take it with not even a grain of salt, take it with a whole damn shaker, because I don't even remember where I heard that, much less if it's actually true. Marine biologists on their way to learn the most painful of truths about our world. Such as the burden of knowledge. I think that's something I'm probably gonna say for the rest of my life. There are many benefits to being a marine biologist, such as the burden of knowledge. We don't need the kudzu tea. We'll keep one kudzu tea as a treat. Speaking of treat, I've said this before, but I really love that, like, all of Hinako's healing items are just treats. Her favorite treats. I think that's what my healing items would be. They'd just be, like, my favorite treats. I think I remember, like, another thing that was, like, that kind of reminded me of that, which was basically, like, if you died, like, if you were a Minecraft mob, or not even just a Minecraft mob, just, like, a mob or an enemy, like, what would be your drop? I feel like my common drop would be, if I were in a game and you were to slay me, if you vanquished me, upon death, I would drop, oh, wrong thing, I would drop, let me see. I thought I knew, but I'm having trouble deciding which would be the common drop and which would be the rare drop. I feel like if you were to slay me, my common drop would be, my common drop, you know what? I think my common drop would be my hat, my rare drop would be my bow, and my epic or legendary drop would be just a small version of me. I don't know what it does. You don't know what it does. Time to figure it out. Just go. That's not good, actually. Never mind, I take that back. I don't want anybody having a small version of me for any reason. It's less that the immune system doesn't know your eyes exist, and more they give your eyes a special fine we won't fight you pass, which can be revoked by a complete mistake if your eyes get damaged. Oh! Speaking of that, I accidentally poked my eye with a stick yesterday while I was walking. Because I was talking about that earlier, how I went for a walk in a trail with, on a trail with some of my friends. And I was wearing sunglasses at one point because it was like, it was kind of bright. But then I took them off because it was starting to get a little dark. And then, when that happened, there was a point where, like, I accidentally ran face first into it was a tiny stick. It went into my eye. It's fine. It just kind of hurt for a second, and then it was fine. Like, there's no actual damage. It was just a little ouchy pokey. I'm putting this up because I'm running out of inventory space again. I'm gonna have to start... Yes. That's still horrifying, though. Speaking of being burdened with knowledge, like, if your immune system attacks your eyes, does it just, like... Your white blood cells just eat all of the eye? The logistics are starting to confuse me. Maybe I don't need to think about this. It's probably better to not know. We were just talking about the burden of knowledge, and here I am trying to... Alright, let's use all of the durability on my trusty... Oh, man. Okay, my trusty pipe. Trusty Rusty. I have on numerous occasions killed a fly by blinking on it, I mean. It is a very uncomfortable thing to have happen. How do you do that? What? Did you put a fly in your... What? Are you referencing that one anime where it's like the eye closes on the fly and like a Venus flytrap and the eyelashes hold it? I can understand, I can definitely see that being an unpleasant thing to have to experience, but how does that happen? No, the fly flew into my eye. This has happened to me multiple times. What? No! No! My pipe! Oh. Let's just use this. I could be using these resources way smarter, but, I'm... Oh well. Ooh. That's like such an odd thing. Like, I don't think I have ever had an insect fly into my eye. Thank God. Thank the powers and the powers that be. And thank me. Thank you. But, yeah, ooh. Ew. Ew. That just sounds, like, again, that sounds uncomfortable. I don't even like thinking about it. Oh! Oh, that note isn't here this time. The one from before, that was... No, I don't want to. Okay. The noises. Luckily, I have never... Ugh. Oh, that sounds so... Ugh. Okay, we're just gonna go back the way we're supposed to. And I'm gonna run past this one. I can't be bothered, and I won't be bothered because I'm actually kind of burning through my pipe durability here. Okay, this way. Hold on. Alright, hold on. So we go here. Hold on. Excuse me. One time the fly just kind of, like, poked my eye a little tiny bit and got caught in my eyelashes, but another time I got fly bits behind my eyelids and got hit. What the, Oh, that's awful! That's like, again, I don't even like thinking about that. It's awful. You should have done, like, that thing that they do, I guess we can leave the chocolate. Like, in chemistry class or whatever, where you go to the eye fountain thing and you just have to, like, it's like a water fountain, but for your eyes, and you have to, I think someone else usually has to hold your eyes open so that you can get all of the water can go into them and flush everything out. It's probably unpleasant, but luckily I've never had to do that, but I've heard that it's pretty unpleasant, because, I mean, obviously, someone usually has to hold your eyes open.
この気持ち悪いのには触るなよ。毒があるかもしれない。右の庭から回ってこっちに来い。
わかった。
I am a very fortunate woman, except when I'm very not. Gods, I wish there was an eye flush station, but I was at my grandparents'. I would have gone to school just to get to the eye flush station. Oh, I didn't want to pick that up anyways. Thank you, though. Ooh! My favorite. I do love the metal pipe. I do love the toolkit. Get out of here, first aid kit. It's nice to have first aid kits because they're a full heal, but they don't stack, so they take up a lot of room. It's one of those things that it's better to really only carry one of. As like an emergency. We don't really need Higashi. I don't know why, but I for some reason in my mind just conjured that one scene from Castlevania, the anime, where it was just all of them arguing about the logistics of being a vampire or something, and then it was like the, but vampires can't cross running water. That's not true. I can cross running water. Can you? I've taken baths. I've been in water. But a bath isn't running water. I feel like I think I would feel like what did he say? I think I would probably feel like touching running water would kill me. And then she's like, Do you think you'd feel like poison would kill you? Of course not. It's something you learn. It's not like we're given a manual for how to be vampires. Like, why did they do that? They just started arguing about the logistics. It's still really funny. Okay, wait, hold on. I have to talk about something after I save my girl Hinako from this bullshit that's happening. No!
でかい化け物が出た。
そっちまで行けないんだ。フランに逃げ込め。俺は窓をこじ開ける。
They stole her house. Oh, I know that's right. Oh no, my sanity ran out. That happens a lot. I'm gonna have to equip some other items in my inventory. Okay. One thing that, like, drives me absolutely insane. Hold on, let me get to a better stopping point. Come on, keep going, keep going. Just keep going, don't look back. It'll be down for a second, just keep turning it. Okay, get the key. Yes, got it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go in. Go. Ah! Please go in. Woo! Okay. Okay.
Hinako! Kura no mano da!
Yep. Okay. Alright.
大丈夫か？
なんとかな。
よかった。純子さんに頼まれたんだ。何があってもお前を守れて。
お姉ちゃんが？
ずいぶん前の話さ。さあ、行こうぜ。
Well, that's good.
行こう。
Yeah, there's another red pill. Right there. I'm probably gonna let this pipe stay damaged and just carry these two around at least, and then I'll find another weapon to replace it with, but I only have like one toolkit, I think, and I'd rather hold on to it. Let me go through my inventory, because divine water, ramune, warare, okay, dried carcass. I think everything I could use. Yeah. Well, alright then. So one thing that drives me absolutely crazy about adaptations of, like, vampires, especially when it's crossovers like Castlevania, where they're like, oh, here's all these actual, like, vampires from actual literature and stuff, and every time, without fail, they switch Dracula and Carmilla's character. They're like, what if Dracula was actually an empathetic anti-hero who's struggling, like, between his love for the woman he loves and his nature as a vampire? And then they're like, okay, what if Carmilla was just a power-hungry, like, bitch? I hate to tell y'all this, y'all just swapped their characters. Like, that's it. You literally just took Carmilla's character and grafted it onto Dracula, and took Dracula's thing and grafted it onto Carmilla. Why? Why would you do that? Like, you didn't need to put a spin on Dracula because that spin already exists for a different character. I hate that. That always pisses me off. That's why I don't particularly care for most, crossover adaptations, especially something like the Castlevania anime. Like, the games are one thing, because, like, Carmilla doesn't have much of a presence in the game. She's just kind of, like, there, I guess. Sometimes. It depends on the game, and she's usually just, like, the floating mask boss. But in the games, it's even worse, because it's like, oh, she's, like, really devoted and loyal to Dracula. No, the fuck she isn't! Like, I swear, people, like, it's usually just them, like, okay, we need to find vampires to put in our game, and they just see Carmilla, and they're like, oh, cool, woman vampire, and don't bother doing any other research besides that. Like, I mean, if you're not gonna bother looking into the actual character, here's a thought. How about don't put them into your fucking media? Like, that's just writing 101. I say this as someone who likes writing. You have to be willing to put in the goddamn work and research to do things, or otherwise just don't bother. You're gonna look like a jackass one way or another. I think it's a consequence of Dracula being made more sympathetic through means like Castlevania. Dracula's character, as perceived by the collective consciousness, has shifted. Yeah, like, in the actual books, he was just kind of some dickhead who lived in, I think it was, like, I don't even remember. Because that shifted, too. I don't think it was actually Transylvania. I think it was, where was it? It was somewhere in... Because it wasn't Transylvania. That's something that I think developed recently, where people are like, oh, he lives in Transylvania. No, he doesn't. But no, like, he was just some, like, old general guy who liked to kill people. I think an issue is a lot of people get Carmilla mixed up with Erzsébet Báthory, which kind of makes sense, I guess, in a weird way, because they're both from Austria. Like, they're both Austrian. So I guess it's easy to just look at it and say, okay, well, Erzsébet Báthory is Carmilla. No, she's not. They're two separate people. Carmilla's a character from this book, and Erzsébet Báthory was actually a real woman who existed. But, like, the thing with Erzsébet Báthory is that she was, like, an actual countess that existed, and they call her the Blood Countess, and that's because there was, like, a rumor back then that she killed a bunch of women and bathed in their blood to stay pretty forever, but I think there was also, like... I think there's also been a development recently where they discovered that might have actually just been fake. That was just a rumor started by somebody and they killed her over it, but I don't know. Either way, hold on, I'm gonna go here. I have to turn my fan on. It's so hot. But you can usually tell when someone has, like, actually has at least any baseline knowledge of Carmilla, because they usually don't make that mistake of, like, okay, she's just female vampire, she either hates Dracula or, like in the case of the Castlevania anime, or she loves him for some reason, which that's not the case. She, if you know anything about Carmilla, she is actually kind of loyal to someone, and it's her mother. But that was never fully, like, explained. That's, like, a weird thing the book does. It's just like, okay, here's her mother, and then it doesn't really do anything with that.
ここで遊んだのいつの頃だっけ？
懐かしいね、ここ。幼い頃、この辺りで迷ってワンワン泣いた記憶がある。
お前が泣くとこが想像できないぜ。
ずいぶん長いこと泣いた記憶がない。
お前は何でも我慢して心に溜め込む悪い癖があるからな。
That's true, that's true.
春にはメダカやオタマジャクシ捕まえたっけ？水が気持ちよかったな。
Doomed friend group, my beloved.
田んぼで遊んで泥だらけになって怒られたこともあったっけ？
こんな状況なのに懐かしい思い出ばかり思い出す。
今ではどれも懐かしいな。
I liked playing outside and playing rough as a kid, but for some reason I never liked being covered in mud, though. I just never liked... It always felt weird.
でも泣けよ。俺が絶対に相談に乗ってやるから。
ありがとう。
Preach.
よし、行こうぜ。霧が深いな。
It is pretty thick, and the hills are silent. But no, like, it just really pisses me off because, like, people will, again, I think what they do is they just look up, oh, famous vampires in history, and they put Dracula there because, I don't know, it's Dracula, everybody knows Dracula, and then they see Carmilla and Nosferatu show up, and they're like, okay, well, that's it, female vampire and ugly vampire, and then they don't bother doing any actual research into the characters. You realize they're pre-existing characters, right? Like, these are existing characters. They have personalities and stories. It's not just female vampire and ugly vampire. Can you even imagine how I feel? I'll put on my polite smile for now. I think this puzzle is largely the same. Like, if I remember correctly, there are some differences with this puzzle, but it's mainly in the notes you get for solving it, not the actual puzzle itself, but... If I remember correctly, it was that he moved from Transylvania or somewhere else, I forgot, but had to have soil from his homeland with him. Oh, Davy Jones rules. Gotcha. Yeah, vampires always have this, like, have these weird rules. Oh, there it is. Okay. Child drowns in waterway. On the evening of the 7th, a 5-year-old girl fell into the waterway of a rice field and subsequently drowned to death. Authorities believe she accidentally fell in while playing. Yeah, see, these notes are different. Man, Count Orlok is so funny, though. He is, but, like, people don't bother doing the research. They're just like, okay, well, Dracula is a vampire, and Carmilla is a woman vampire, and Nosferatu is an ugly vampire. That's it. That's the characters. Surely they don't actually have stories that are connected to them. That would be insane, right? But no, it just drives me absolutely wild. Like, it is such a visceral pet peeve. Like, every time I see it happen, it makes my blood boil. Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, Dracula is a tragic anti-hero, and Carmilla is just evil and ambitious. And like, alright, well, you just switched their characters, jackass. How do you feel about that? That's so cool. Can you even imagine how I feel, what it's like to have been deceived by you for so long? We're doing the speedrun strats. I might actually keep going a little after this, because we're getting through this a little quicker than I thought. Well, maybe. Because I would like to have the game in, like, relatively even chunks. It's this one. Rinko. Article, to the children of Ebisugaoka, good kids don't play near waterways. Be especially careful when there's been a lot of rain because water levels will rise. Good kids don't play in crop fields. Watch out for those reservoirs and ponds because they're dangerous too. And one thing, one very important thing people also just kind of always happen to accidentally forget about Carmilla is that she is 100% not interested in men, if I remember correctly. Not even if I remember correctly, bro. That's the whole point. Like, it makes even less sense, because sometimes they will include Laura in the adaptation, or they'll make a weird bastardized version of her, but they don't do anything with her besides just having her be there. Can you even imagine how I feel? He never once looked at me the way he looked at you. Not once. To be fair with Nosferatu, Orlok was literally just Dracula, but with a name change to avoid copyright. That's fair, that's fair. In Carmilla's case, though, it's like, it's just especially egregious because, mind you, Carmilla the book came out 25 years before Dracula did. Dracula was after Carmilla. Like, not only did Dracula get credit for being, oh, he's the main vampire, he's the big vampire. That was like the first vampire book, when no, actually Carmilla came first. He also stole her fucking entire character with people who were like, I'm going to put a bunch of, like, real-world vampires into my story, and I'm gonna make Dracula tragic, even though he's not, and I'm gonna make Carmilla just an evil woman vampire when that's just Dracula, except he's not a woman. That, like, again, it just makes, ooh, it makes my bones burn. It makes it, I can feel it in, like, my actual bloodstream, how angry it makes me. Around 6 p.m., the girl's family discovered her floating face down in the waterway after being carried 2 kilometers downstream from where she initially fell in. This is what'll happen to you if you ever make vampire media and switch Carmilla and Dracula's character. Just letting you know, I'm the messenger. I have no say in this. This is just what happens to you. Call it divine retribution, whatever you want. This is just what happens. I don't make the rules. She was transported to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Multiple accidents have occurred due to this waterway in the past, but a single prevention measure has yet to be put in place. Yeah, you'd think that they'd do something after maybe the first time a kid fell in and drowned, but dude, alright. Five Nights at Freddy's logic. God, and it's so maddening because I know there's nothing that will ever be done about it. What needs to happen is they need to make a Carmilla movie. Like, they made a Nosferatu movie, they made a Frankenstein movie. We don't need a Dracula movie. I don't care. We don't need one. We have like 50 million of them. We don't need another Dracula movie to complete the, like, the circle of games getting adaptations. We need a Carmilla movie. I mean, there have technically been adaptations in the past, but, like, they're old and also not really that good. I mean, there's the movie that went with the 2014 web series, I think, but I would still like, since everyone has been getting into, like, gothic adaptations recently, can we please have a Carmilla one? Please. Can you even imagine how I feel? You've always been such an eyesore. Ugh. But if I remember correctly, Castlevania, the adaptation, the anime adaptation, Lenore, one of the girls, the vampires who was part of, like, the sisters or whatever they were called, I think she was based off of Laura, which is insane. Like, what do you mean? Why did you do what you did then? That's horrible. That's genuinely awful. In fact, like, almost none of Carmilla's character was kept intact for the adaptation. Like, except, I guess she's a woman and a vampire. That's it. Like, that is all that was kept intact for the anime adaptation, and that's honestly all that was kept intact for the game adaptation. When children are lost and begin to panic... parents and guardians, when children are lost and begin to panic, they become less able to pay attention to their surroundings. There have been numerous reports of children running around areas they are not familiar with and falling into waterways and reservoirs and drowning. If you come across a lost child, please offer your help to them. But I kind of tend to... I like to put references to things in the stuff I write. So, like, for example, when I did my D&D campaign that was based off of... It's kind of fantasy-esque Japan. It uses the Ryoko's Guide supplement, by the way. This isn't an advertisement, I'm just saying what it uses because it's a really good supplement. But, can you even imagine how I feel? You hurt me and even hurt him too. Do you know how it feels to force a smile when I'm staring at the disgusting face of yours? I don't think anyone actually thinks this about anyone else if it's within the friend group. Not fully, anyways. Outside of, like, intrusive thoughts. Oh, approaching! Okay. Child drowns in waterway. This evening, the lifeless body of Shimizu Hinako was found in a crop field waterway after she presumably drowned to death. That never happened. It is suspected that she panicked after losing her way and began running around in the dark. This is likely when she stumbled and fell into the waterway. The name of the actual child who tragically died has been replaced with cutout letters of my name. What a disgusting prank. I do like that Hinako gives thoughts about the things that you see. And then we do this. And it's gone! I love this game. I love this game so much. Oh, wait,
Hinako. 読んでみよう。リンコ、俺だ。シュウだ。いるなら返事してくれ。
I also believe it.
来てくれたんだ。ひなこも無事でよかった。怪我はないか。家族は？私は大丈夫。でも誰もいないの。足の悪いおばあちゃんまでいないなんて、こんなの絶対に変。誰もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし、何が何だかわからないよ。
And I will say, Hinako, like, she kind of has, like, a really level head, though. Like, I mean, obviously there's, like, the weird hang-ups with her and Rinko's relationship, but she seems to have, like, a very understanding approach to it, I guess, is what I'd say. And also, she, has a lot of faith in their relationship. The doll. Celluloid
こ
doll.
れ以上ここに留まるのは危険だ。
Because like she said, they fought in the past and made up.
街を出るってお父さんやお母さんはみんなは
助けを呼ぶためにも今は行動を急いだ方がいいかもしれない。
みんなを見捨てるわけじゃない。助けるためにも一度脱出する必要があるんだ。
でも街を出るって言ってもあれじゃ無理だよ。
無理ってどういう意味だ。
そっちの窓から天井が見えるよ。霧が濃くなければ。
嘘だろ。
鉄橋がどうしよう。
東の鉄橋がダメなら西の県道を目指そう。
イエーイ。
柊の家の裏山を抜けるのか。
あの山越えられるの？
There's only like
わさび台の
2 ways in and out of town.
道だけの抜け
Crazy.
道だ。リンコ、念のため薬や絆創膏を持っていきたい。
台所に救急箱あるよ。取ってくるね。
あ、私も一緒に行こう。手伝う。
相棒が一緒なら安心だ。
And she does try to be understanding. Like, she tries to put, thought into the things she does, like, to try to assure Rinko that, you know, there's not actually anything happening between her and Shu. Or not anything fully explicit happening, like... Because, like I said, their relationship is kind of in limbo. But I don't think it's, like... It's obviously not actually romantic. Yeah, this is... See, this is, the stairs. You can see they're different. She tripped on the roots. Because that flora, those flowers and stuff weren't there during the first playthrough. Or at the very least, they were out of frame. So now you can see what actually happened. Rinko didn't push her. Although it was framed to make it look like she did. Hinako actually did trip. But it was kind of, the doll was like, hey, you should not trust all of your friends and be suspicious of everyone forever. So, she kind of, Hinako did kind of just like, I mean, to be fair, Rinko was at, like, being a little, she was being a little hostile. But not, like, outwardly, Again, she didn't actually push her. She was being a little standoffish, but nothing... Man. But she, like I said, she was being a little, standoffish, so it's kind of easy to see where the idea came from that, hey, maybe she, like, pushed you down the stairs, but she actually didn't. Like, she maybe could have been acting a bit nicer, but I don't, like, at the very least, there's, like, you can't say, oh, well, she tried to kill her! No, she didn't. No, she didn't. And I don't, like, I'm going to put the straw man up here. I'm going to invent a guy to have an argument with. I know, like, that some people might say, some people might say, like, oh, but then why did she... then why was she closer to Hinako? And, you could hear her footsteps approaching. That doesn't mean she pushed her down. She was supposed to be following her down the stairs, remember? like she was just walking behind her. She stopped walking for a bit, and then started to catch up, and then Hinako tripped. I mean, I guess if you want to, like, I can't fully rebuke... Oh, we can open this now, because we have the brooch, yeah. I won't fully denounce the, oh, Rinko pushed her. I just think it's a little silly, but I do like it. I do say all the time how I like the interpretive and kind of vague nature of Silent Hill, especially 2 and F, where you don't really fully know what's going on, and you can kind of put it together yourself. We can take the highway, he says, as if he isn't in a Silent Hill game. She didn't push Hinako, but she also didn't do much to help. Yeah. I think that's what I like the best. I don't know if I fully like... Because I definitely don't like the interpretation that she just pushed Hinako to try to kill her. Because, I'm sorry, that just kind of diminishes part of their relationship. But I also don't fully agree with the fact that she was... Because obviously she didn't seem that worried about it. Like, before, during, or after Hinako fell. So I don't fully like the interpretation that she was fully, like, 100%... Well, not that she wasn't innocent in the situation, she just wasn't, I do think she, maybe a part of her, like an uglier part of her was like, okay, yeah, yay, good, or something about Hinako falling down the stairs, and I think to me that is what I prefer. I prefer their relationship being messy and nuanced like that. I don't like I said, I don't like this weird black and white depiction of it where it's like, oh, Rinko is evil and just wants to kill Hinako. Okay, then how come we get so much evidence throughout the game that shows and tells us otherwise? That's not the point. The point is that the relationship is really messy. It is a core tenet of Shintoism that each land throughout all... Oh, a perspective on Hiragami? It is a core tenet of Shintoism that each land throughout all Japan is protected by its own deities. From this, people pray to the gods so that they and their lands might be blessed. In turn, their belief strengthens the gods. It gives them the ability to better protect the land in a beneficial cycle of reciprocation. Thus, the bond between humans and gods is vital to the prosperity of both. If the underlying strength of this bond can indeed be explained through mortal blood, then the reason for the gods joining themselves in sacred matrimony to mortals who call their land home becomes evident. Perhaps it is through the addition of their blood that the bond between mortal and god is strengthened. And if this is true, then I should think that frequently upholding such forms of unification would be best for all involved. However, in practice, marital bonds between mortal and deity are vanishingly rare. It is a mystery why this is so. Or perhaps I find the greater mystery to be, why was I chosen? I love this game and its story. Oh my god, wait, it's from the ritual where they removed her face and put the fox mask. Look, the tools are already bloody, but the fox mask is there. But yeah, I definitely prefer... Oh, that's her arm! I definitely prefer the interpretation... Embroidered drawstring bag! This embroidered drawstring bag is very high quality, from the fabric to the patterns, so be careful not to get it dirty when storing your belongings. Increases inventory capacity. Yes, I think that's the maximum inventory capacity, if I'm not mistaken. What's this? Mandate of the clan. Drain from the sacrifice her blood, sparing not a drop, and add unto it wine that has been distilled 8 times over. Spare her body of its earthly viscera, and fill it instead with rice that has been mixed with the master's saliva before sealing it shut with needle and thread. Ew. In the dark shall the vessel rest undisturbed until the redolent odor of wine rises from her skin. Adorn her in fine garments, befitting a bride. Then set her afloat on a raft of straw so her blood wine may seep into the water's surface. Do this, and into the depths she shall sink, quelling the wrath that waits below. I'd personally just prefer a smaller affair. Maybe with some friends and family, but... yeah. But to go back on what I was talking about, in my D&D world... Ooh, someone got mad through here. I have a reference to Carmilla, And they always usually end up being, like, at least morally gray, if not just outright good. Because she deserves it. I don't feel like referencing Dracula, because everyone references Dracula, bro. You, like... You're mainstream, man. I don't know how to tell you this, but... Oh. That makes you at least slightly less interesting. I do like when people put actual, like, genuine references to Carmilla in their media and not just use the name and say, look guys, female vampire. Like, Lunacid is a good example. Like, I think I've talked about this. There's an area that's, the entire thing is basically a Carmilla reference. It's called Castle Lefanu. And even the name, if you know anything about, the actual book Carmilla, the novella, that should ring bells because that's the name of the author, Joseph Sheridan Lefanu. And you get, like, the story of two characters there, one of them being a vampire and the other being a knight who ends up becoming a vampire. And even though they don't use the name Carmilla, it is incredibly obvious, more so than actual media that uses her fucking name, that it's meant to be a Carmilla reference. Like, the fact that I can tell it's supposed to be a Carmilla reference from just, like, the fact they got the character right, more so than I can tell people who use the name Carmilla are referencing Carmilla, then that should say something. Because that happens a lot. Like, I think it's, like, something in fucking Has-Been Hotel or whatever. They have a character named Carmilla, and it's just nothing at all to do. Like, they didn't even get the vampire part right. They were just like, what's a good name? A Carmilla, yeah. Like, I feel like if I started using names like, storage room key. I feel like if I started using names for my characters and just did whatever the hell I wanted, you would expect people to get at least a little annoyed about that, but what do I know? I only write all the time. Like, I'm not gonna be too much of a snob about it because I'm not like, ooh, wait, I don't have a name up. Okay, we're gonna stop here for now because I would like to break these up into 3 parts. I would keep going, but I think it's probably gonna be easier to, like, what I'm thinking of this time, we'll test it out, see how it works. What I'm thinking is, I get to this part, right? I finish the scarecrow puzzle. You know, let me move over here. Okay, there we go. I finish the scarecrow puzzle, and then I think I'm gonna try to get to Shimizu Residence. That might make the second stream really long, though, so I might have to experiment with some of the, but like I said, this is a test run, and we're also getting my least favorite ending, so whatever. But this'll be a test run. I'm thinking get to Shimizu Residence, and then after that, for the last stream, just finish the game. That's what I'm thinking, and we'll test it out and see how it works. But maybe, mind you, not 100%, but maybe. For the second one, depending on if this works or not, if this works well or not, I might instead choose to hold on. Let me check something over here. Nope, we're good. Okay. I might choose to at least do the Sakugo boss fight and then end the stream and then get to Shimizu Residence, but we'll see. I'm not fully sure. Well, like I said, this is a test run, so. But yeah, that was, we did get a lot of progress, a decent amount, and, tomorrow we're gonna be playing more, so it's literally just gonna be tomorrow, and let me check my schedule, actually, because, I think tomorrow, like, day after tomorrow is Path of Exile, yes. And then we're gonna be back. We're taking like a break to play Path of Exile on Wednesday, but then after that, we're right back into Silent Hill F. And we will be getting the ending on Thursday. So look forward to that. Then next week we'll start getting the third ending. I think that's how I'm gonna try to do it. Like, that seems like the best way, is just doing an ending a week. That way it's not too much. I'm not taking... I think I said this last week, but I wanted to stream a bit more this week, so that's what I'm doing. I'm only not streaming on Sunday. But yeah, I do have, like, the Genshin stream on Friday, where, like I said, I'm gonna wail for Columbina. And I am looking forward to that. It's gonna be different. After we finish this, though, like the Silent Hill, marathon that I started for my maiden voyage, as I've taken to calling it, I'm probably going to, I forgot to remove my hat and bow. I'll do that tomorrow. I forgot to put them down. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I'll have to figure it out. I might start playing Hytale, but we will have to see. It depends, but I definitely need to play some less niche things, to be sure. I'm not sure actually, but Path of Exile is a good one, I guess. But by the time I finish with this, I don't know, like, if I would I don't know if I would be fully, like, down to just start streaming, like, 'cause especially something like Hytale, like, I feel like that's at the point where it wouldn't be as, like, it wouldn't be as, like, people wouldn't be talking about it quite as much, so, I'm not sure. Because I do have to, I do want to do some stuff that's at least, a bit easier to digest for most people, because, again, Silent Hill F is definitely, like, Silent Hill in general is, it's a bit of a, you have to have a certain palate, you have to have a certain taste for, like, if you don't like horror in general, obviously you're not gonna like it, but, like, even within the horror genre, like, psychological horror is a bit niche, admittedly. Like, if I played, like, something like Five Nights at Freddy's, I feel like a lot of people would at least get into that, because mascot horror, unlike most horror, isn't niche, because it's kind of made with more, we'll just say commercial sensibilities in mind, so, it's not necessarily designed to be made, it's not made for a specific audience like most horror, it's made to be marketed, for lack of a better term. Yeah. But, anyways, like I said, we'll have to see, because something like Hytale, I've started watching Vinny play it. I talk about Vinny a lot. But it's not something I'm, like, super interested in. I really haven't been that interested in it. Well, maybe. The issue with something like that is I'd have to stream it once, and then see if I like it. And then, if I do, then play more of it. But, it's a little difficult, because I'm not the kind of person who can really force myself to sit through something I'm not enjoying. I never have been. Like, I know people like to hate watch things or hate play things. I can't do that. If I'm miserable, I can't really force myself to keep going. I don't know. I just don't like intentionally making myself upset. Like, I have a friend who hates Death Battle, but always watches it. And they're like, they just like getting upset at it. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's fine. You do you. I just personally, don't. I can't really do that. I don't know. I don't like intentionally making myself upset. That's why I usually, that's why I was mostly a lurker before I started VTubing. Like, when I was, scrolling through Twitter or something, I just usually keep to myself, because if it was something that pissed me off, I'd be like, oh well, I can ignore it and forget about it. I mean, sometimes I like to, argue about things. Everyone likes to argue. But, I try not to if I can help it. But, nowadays, like, when I'm trying to think of things to, like, when I sometimes struggle to think of things to talk about, like, to post about on my account, sometimes it's just easy to do things like complain. So that's why there's, like, a whole streak of me just going on about how much I hated the Game Awards. Like, if you scroll down, it's pretty far down by now, but it's down there. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things that's easy, I guess. But I probably wouldn't have been complaining about it if I hadn't been, like, trying to just be present. Because I actually really liked lurking. It was very nice. It was comfortable. But, speaking of complaining, I don't think I ever finished my thought with the Carmilla thing. If you use the name Carmilla for anything, you damn well better commit to that shit. Because if I see something that's just like, okay, well, there's nothing connecting her to the actual Carmilla besides the name, or occasionally, rarely, well, not rarely, most of the time, you'll get female vampire. I'm going to consider it dog shit, personally, because that's not a good adaptation of the character. Like, with Dracula, it's a bit easier, because you could just make vampire guy and you're pretty much done. But I'm sorry, I consider any anti-hero tragic representation of Dracula a dog shit adaptation also. Like, it's not bad in a vacuum, like, for example, Castlevania Dracula. He's not a bad character in a vacuum. He's a terrible adaptation of the actual Dracula, though, so there's that. Like, again, like, he's a well-written character, but he's not Dracula. He is a terrible, terrible adaptation of Dracula. Just as Carmilla in that series is a terrible, terrible adaptation of Carmilla. Not a terribly written character, because again, very well written, but there's a difference between being well written and well adapted, and that's a pretty good example of it. Mind you, I do think an actual, like, good adaptation of Dracula might be poorly written, so there's a trade-off. Maybe. Times were different back then. But yeah, it's just a personal pet peeve of mine. That's why I'm not too big on the Castlevania anime, at least the first season, because, like, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way that so many, like, most people who will know Carmilla as a vampire are going to know her through things like Castlevania, and they're just gonna have a completely wrong perception of her character. Like, just 100% wrong. Like, again, to the point where her and Dracula had their entire personalities and characters switched. Dracula is not a tragic anti-hero in the book. He's just kind of a douchebag, a rich douchebag. And Carmilla isn't, just, like, kind of evil, villainous woman in the book. She actually is a kind of tragic anti-hero. Because if you pay attention, like, in the books, I know at the end it's like, the guy, what's his name? I don't remember. The plot exposition man. That's what I'll call him. Plot exposition man. He shows up and he's like, oh, we have to kill her because she's a vampire. And she, like, seduced my daughter or something or whatever. But, or my niece. I don't remember what that girl's relation to him was, but yeah, it was something about that, and then he keeps telling them, oh my god, no, he's killing Laura, bro, he's killing you, and then she's like, actually, I don't think she is, and then he's like, no, she is, she's killing you, bro, and then they kill her, and then you find out through her, like, Laura's writing, because the novella is actually, the novella is written from Laura's point of view. It's as if she was writing in her journal, her diary, so it's technically, it's fictional, autobiographical. But he's just like, oh man, she's trying to kill you, but if you pay attention to the things Carmilla says and the things Laura says, she's not trying to just, like, feed off of Laura like she was with the other victims. She's actually trying to turn her, if you pay attention. She's trying to turn her into a vampire, which, I mean, I guess technically not great, whatever, but I mean, she's not trying to kill her. Like, you're kind of just wrong about that. She was just trying to, like, make it so they could be together forever. And for the most part, Laura wasn't, like, too opposed to that. Again, I say for the most part, she probably wouldn't have been too happy about it, but... And again, depending on who you ask, eternal life, especially eternal life with, like, with strings attached, is often not that much better than death, if not worse. So... Which is interesting. Again, as someone who writes, I love exploring that kind of thing. But, yeah, I just wish, people did a better job adapting it. I wish people were more faithful to it, because, honestly, I think it's actually a really good book, but, halfway through, the ending is pretty not good. It's not that good. I have a crack theory about it. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but, you can tell that the author just really did not have his heart in the last half of the book. He was writing his soul out when it came to, like, Carmilla saying shit like, you will live in me and I will live in you. You and I are one forever, or whatever the hell she says. She says some crazy shit that's absolutely, like, bars. Like, oh my god, she was going off. I love it, by the way. Again, she is a yearner. She is a tier 1, a tier 0 yearner. Like, very few people can yearn like actual Carmilla can, because holy shit, there's some masterful yearning going on. But yeah, you could tell he had his heart in that, because oh my god, he, like, there was some wild stuff being said. Also, like, one thing they don't tell you about it is, like, people are like, oh yeah, well, there's, like, some Yuri. There's some Yuri, bro. There's some Yuri. Like, it's not even subtext. It just happens. Like, I think she kisses her a bunch. Multiple times. It happens a lot. Then there's also, like, man, you know what? That should have been Dracula. Dracula should have been Yowie. Like, what was his name? Jonathan Harker, the main character? I feel like most people would have really liked Vampire Yowie. I think, well, maybe not back then, but I feel like a lot of people now would appreciate Dracula Vampire Yowie. My good friend Jonathan Harker. I think Mega Yuri. True. Mega Yuri and Mega Yowie. Do you think people... I think, like, maybe back then Dracula wouldn't have done so well, but, like, if it was Vampire Yowie, but I think nowadays... Omegaverse vampires. Oh, dude, we're talking about the Omegaverse again. Okay, so after the stream with with Astra, I guess we were in an Omegaverse mood, because I got on call with some other friends, and then we just decided, you know what, let's rank all of our OCs based on if they would be an alpha, a beta, or an omega. And that's what we talked about for like 3 hours. It was pretty good. Vampire Yowie and Yuri are the strongest possible Yowie and Yuri. Exactly! Something about vampires as a concept lends itself so well to Yowie and Yuri. I feel like Omegaverse vampires could work also. Or maybe some people would get mad and say, man, you're taking that from werewolves. Now what are werewolves supposed to do? I don't know, you could try taking something from vampires. We can just mix and match. But that's what I'm saying. Like, something about... I think it's because, like, genuinely, if I'm going to answer this in a serious way and not joking, if I remember correctly, vampirism back then was kind of almost a metaphor for, like, sexual deviancy or something. And again, this is purely, like, theater kid and literature kid Archer talking. Because, again, I love reading, I love writing. Well, I don't read books that much anymore, but I do like reading and I do like writing. And I do like analyzing media, so, and I do like theater. I do enjoy a good theater. I'm something of a harlequin, of an arlecchino myself. The commedia dell'arte. But I think, if I remember correctly, like I said, I think it was like a metaphor for sexual deviancy, so that's why someone like Carmilla kind of ended up like that, because it was like, oh, look, she kisses girls, and then didn't Dracula have some weird, like, psychosexual, homoerotic relationship with Jonathan Harker? I don't remember. There might have been yaoi in Dracula. We might have yaoi Dracula yet. I think if it were Omegaverse, Dracula yaoi, Dracula would probably have to be the alpha, and then maybe, I think he would be the alpha, and Jonathan would be the omega, but surprisingly, I think if we were talking about Omegaverse Carmilla would have to be the omega? Maybe. I don't know, she's like really clingy. She's not necessarily like, I don't know. What if we were Vampire Yuri and we were both Omegas? And so they were both bottoms. I think I'm not that well versed in Omegaverse because it's just not my cup of tea when it comes to fanfiction and things like that, but I think, if I remember correctly, it is possible. It is scientifically possible. This has been a proven phenomenon where I think two Omegas can be in a relationship and maybe one of them's somehow a top and the other one's a bottom. I think that's possible. I don't know. I'd have to ask an actual Omegaverse researcher or something. Same with alphas. I think alphas is just like, you know how tigers mate? Like, tiger mating is supposed to be like really violent and like sometimes they can kill each other. Maybe that's like what it would be like if two alphas were together. So like, especially if it's vampires, that's like turbo cannibalism. Turbo cannibalism love. What a conversation to have after Silent Hill F. I've been in a mood. Oh, my brain. My wonderful, beautiful, messed up brain. But I think, if y'all don't know Masa Works Design, he's a Vocaloid producer. His old stuff, there's a song series called the Onibi series, and one of the songs is Fox's Wedding. This is actually kind of topical because we were just playing Silent Hill F. But it's about two girls. One of them's a kitsune and one of them's just a noblewoman, or a princess actually, not a noblewoman. And there is Yuri, and there is psychosexual shit, and there is cannibalism, and it's a good time. And I think it fits what we were just talking about, so I thought I'd bring it up. Is an Omegaverse researcher called a Yaostronomer. Yaostronomer. Maybe. You might be onto something. An Omega... what are the terms? Like, because I was gonna try to create something out of the existing Omegaverse terms, like nodding, but I don't know. Nauticulture. Nauticulture. I'm a nauticulture specialist. Yeah, that's something. Ain't that something? I feel like if you research Omegaverse, wasn't there, oh my god, I just remembered this. Wasn't there like a court case trying to like copyright Omegaverse? Like it was the first fanfiction of Omegaverse, and I think it was like a supernatural fanfiction, like DSTL or whatever the hell that ship's called. It's the main yaoi ship from that thing. And it was like the person who wrote that fanfic was like suing somebody or trying to copyright the term Omegaverse or something. I don't remember, man. That was insane. Crazy day in fandom, I guess. Even if you weren't part of that. That's just insane. There really is a whole world out there you don't know about. But, yeah. Wow, what a conversation. But something about, like, vampirism and just maybe, like, cannibalistic-esque things in general, and then, like, Yuri and yaoi, especially Yuri, somehow it just goes together. Maybe something about consuming and being consumed, but I could not explain the phenomenon to you in full. I could only give you my theories as to why that is. As someone who somewhat finds the idea of cannibalism a little romantic. No, I have to specify. I find the ideal aesthetic of it like a little romantic. I obviously would not. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Maybe spirit eating, though. Have y'all heard of spirit eating? It's where they make, like, a bunch of meat in the shape of a person. I saw a picture once of Lady Gaga at one. It was kind of funny. But, like, I kind of find it, like, the idea of it, like, kind of romantic in a way, like I said. Like, come on, that's a little romantic. I know people, like, will say, I think I saw something on Twitter where it was someone like, oh, I don't understand why people, like, find cannibalism romantic, and then they said something like, oh, it's because they're a part of, they become a part of you. Well, yeah, but you shit them out. So they kind of strawmanned the argument because they just said, oh, I don't understand the argument of, oh, they're a part of you. That's not really, for me, that's not really what it is. It's not really the, oh, they become a part of you. It's like, it's more like, I feel like that happens on a more metaphysical, on an emotional level, I guess. So that doesn't need to be a thing. For me, if I had to explain it, I think it's more like, it's more that, like, there are, like, very few ways to, there are very few things that are as intimate as perpetuating the cycle of consumption and, decay. That's one of the ways I would describe it. Like, that there has to be a level of trust and vulnerability involved in, like, someone eating someone else. And again, this is hypothetical. This is purely from an aesthetic, like, if I were to make a fan fiction of cannibalism or something. That, like, do not eat people IRL, please. Please don't do that. Please do not. But it's also, like, if I had to, like, another way I would describe it is, it's almost like a living in death sort of thing. It's a weird boundary between death and life and the perpetuation of death and life and the cycle of death and life. And you're engaging in it with the person you like most, the person you love most. And then another thing that I think I thought about was, like, it's not necessarily like, oh, they become part of you. It's more that, how do I word this? It's more that consuming each other is something that already happens when you love somebody. Not literally consuming them. But, when you're in a relationship, there's, like, a lot of give and take. And especially when it's more, like, in the more intimate moments, it's like, kind of like consuming media. You're not eating a book, you're not eating, well, maybe you are, I don't know. If you do that, that's fine. You're not eating, like, your computer monitor when you're playing a game. Consuming can mean different things, and it's fun to play with the definition of consuming. Quote of the day, if I was to make a fanfiction about cannibalism... Well, it's not an if. I think I've kind of done that before. Okay, so we were talking about the one of the best things about a marine biologist, or being a marine biologist, is the burden of knowledge. One of the best things about being a writer is the burden of curiosity. It's the burden of creativity, I guess. You're willing to go to places that most sane people don't. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be unhinged a little bit because, like, how many actual geniuses were fully sane? Like, artistic geniuses. Like, Leonardo da Vinci, he was kind of off his rocker. Vincent van Gogh, that one's actually a bit more tragic. That was just, yeah. But still, he wasn't fully sane. You have to be able to, like, if you want to truly create things, if you want to write, draw, anything, if you want to exercise your will of creativity on the world, you have to be willing to not only think outside of the box, but to ignore the box as a concept and think fully divorced from the concept of the box just in general. There is no box, just think. But yeah, with the cannibalism thing, like, it's like a just another color you can paint with the cannibalism. Again, don't do that, please. Don't do it. Don't actually eat people, but if you want to experiment with the concept and the aesthetic of it within, like, art as a medium, like drawing, writing, painting, whatever, I think it's a neat thing to I don't say neat. I think it's a cool thing to, like, I think it's a cool thing to maybe experiment with, just because it's, you can do a lot with it. Especially when you consider things, which, you know, people actually forget about this, when you consider things like metaphors. What a concept, not everything being literal within fiction. I love using metaphors and parables. Like, if you couldn't tell from my absolute obsessive fondness of Silent Hill, I really love when things aren't literal, or aren't fully literal. I like when they're symbolic or metaphorical, because you can do so much with that. That's, like, such a cool thing to do. I like when themes are being explored through, like, in broad strokes, just kind of covering, like, seeping into the entire work as a whole. Woo, okay. So, I think vampirism is kind of like that. Like, it's used to play with themes of, like, consumption and themes of almost being an outsider. Not even just being an outsider, I guess, just being kind of different. Sometimes seen as dangerous, but sometimes accepted. And you can do a lot with that, like I said. You can make it literal, you can make it metaphorical. So I think that's why Vampire Yaoi and Yuri go so hard, because, like, especially back in that time period, you know, Yuri and Yaoi might not, they weren't necessarily, they weren't quite as popular as they are today. Not entirely, anyways. I mean, they could have been, but you might have gotten a little bit more than just some sideways looks for it. Me, when I go to Salem, I go to early 1700s America, actually, and I'm burned at the stake for talking about Yaoi and Yuri. Man, that would happen. I wouldn't survive. I'd be like, hey, have you guys read Watatabe? Have you read The Summer Hikaru Died? Oh, you're a witch. You are a foul creature, and your stench must be purged from his world. Shit, my bad. Put to death for being too whimsical. That would happen. If I went to Salem and I was just wearing a propeller cap, do you think they'd accuse me of witchcraft? Not even just Salem, just, like, any time back then, do you think just the image of me in a propeller cap would be enough for me to be sent to the gallows? Probably. I don't know. They were pretty uptight. They would not appreciate my whimsy and my taste in literature. I feel like I probably would be put to death for talking about Yaoi and Yuri back then. But anyways, back in the age of, like, I guess Dracula and, like, Carmilla, because again, they were only, like, 25 years apart. It's kind of a long time, but it's still the same relative age, so to speak. It just wasn't really, like, as popular as it is now for, you know, reasons, just because it wasn't really accepted back then, but, so I think that's part of it. Like, that was something like vampirism was, like, maybe a fun tool for them to use to, like, to kind of represent something like that. It's really funny, though, because, like, I think they were both supposed to be horror, but nowadays you wouldn't really consider something like that scary. Especially in the case of Carmilla, like, nowadays that almost just reads as dark romance. Or not even almost, it does. Like, I think that's just also a testament to how, like, perceptions and, like, I guess, sensibilities change over time. Like, back at that time, that might have been considered horror. but like nowadays, I don't think I would personally consider that horror, and that's partially because horror as a genre has evolved a lot since then, but also just like media in general kind of has, and I guess us in general has. we has evolved. But yeah, like I think if you were to go back in time and present them with the story of like Silent Hill or something, they'd probably just think you were like a demon. Like that's just not the kind of thing that was done. That's not how literature was done. In fact, back then it might not have been considered good. But you know, things age differently. Well, like that's kind of going hand in hand with what I said. Like nowadays, that like Carmilla and Dracula, but especially Carmilla, wouldn't really be considered horror. It would, in Carmilla's case, kind of just be considered dark romance. Maybe not even dark. It's a little dark, I guess, but it doesn't really have a happy ending. Spoilers. Fuck, I guess spoilers. Damn, my bad. But, yeah, anyways, I don't know why I ended up complaining about that for so long. Not complaining, but I spent a while complaining about how differently Dracula and Carmilla are treated in, like, modern adaptations of the characters. For the most part. Sometimes, you do get a good adaptation, though. Like, again, I think the 2014 web series, for Carmilla was pretty good. Don't know about Dracula. The Hotel Transylvania. There's a good adaptation. Okay. I do not say blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I don't know why, I found it kind of easy to just talk about a bunch of nothing. Well, not even nothing, I just found it easy to just kind of go off. I think now that I'm dusting off my improv skills, they're getting better again. I mean, it's like riding a bike, you never forget, you just kind of get rusty. But, I think I'm gonna call it here. I've been talking for, like, more than half an hour, and, like, after ending the game, and, I might need to get a drink, and like I said, I do have some other stuff that I need to do. Again, it's not particularly, like, time-sensitive things, but it's stuff I'd like to do. At least today. I'd like to do them today if possible, but if not, it's not a huge deal. I can do some of them tomorrow, but I'm gonna go for now. Tomorrow, we'll be back here tomorrow at the same time at, 4 o'clock p.m., Eastern Standard Time. So, I'll see y'all then. We'll be playing more Silent Hill F, of course. I'll see y'all then. Thank you for coming to the stream, and thank you for humoring my somewhat all over the place, discussions this time. And it was mainly Grace and Fleur talking to me about, like, the vampires and the cannibalism and the Yuri and Yaoi and Omegaverse, but, thank you for coming, and I will see everyone, tomorrow for more Silent Hill F. So, goodbye!